Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and I'm going to let some people tune in, and I'm going to get to what the title says shortly. I'm not going to rush to it right away because before I take two of these little suckers here, this niacin, which I've taken a few times before, it's an interesting way to detox, and it's good for your blood. It kind of flushes out your blood. I want to get to $50 in super chats. I figured if there's one way to get people to help out and keep Wham alive, it's by giving me money to take drugs. Anyway, we're going to get through a few things today because there has been a few things that have been affecting us here at Wham lately. And, you know, I've often been saying lately, and I have been a little bit deterred. I wonder sometimes why I bother because, you know, I've been watching it over and over and over again. You know, our subscribers disappear from our channel. We end up losing vast viewership, about 80% down overall since the beginning of the year. And the harder we work, the more they take us down, which is why we have so many alternatives that we are working towards. So I'm going to go into some of that shortly because, as some of you might know, our subscriber count dropped by 500 in about 1 minute earlier today. And it dropped by about 990 subscribers for Press for Truth and 450,000 subscribers for PewDiePie. Now, there's a reasoning behind this, and I'll explain it. I think I jumped the gun and freaking out earlier a bit, but there's a bit more to it than the excuse that's been given, so I want to get into that shortly. But for those just tuning in, yes, I am going to do a niacin flush here on YouTube while I take your questions. Now, for those that aren't aware, and you might have seen my thumbnail previously, it's my face extremely red/pink. That's probably what I'll be looking like by the end of this broadcast today, because niacin is a huge detoxer, and it essentially allows you to flush out your blood and flush out toxins and everything. And again, I've tried it before, and it makes your face feel like it's on fire. Feels like you're aching for a while. It makes you kind of look crazy and feel crazy, and some people can't take it at all, and they go completely nuts and start huffing and puffing. So we'll see if that happens. And then suddenly you're freezing cold and almost shaking with feeling cold. So yeah, it'll be an interesting thing to do live on YouTube while I take your questions. For those just tuning in, I will start the niacin flush as soon as we get to $50 in super chats. So send in those super chats, and then we'll go along here with all of that. I do see some questions coming in. Jimothy Winkleman says first, F13 Media says niacin flush. And since they commented, we went into that a bit more. Bob Collins 3 says, "Don't do it. You have too much to live for." Well, actually, this is actually good for me. I mean, there's a limit, and it says take 1 or maybe 2 a day. I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 because it says that it's something I can do, and it'll make the reaction as maximum as possible, and it should be good comedy for all of us. And it's a good way for me to encourage some of you guys. Come on, we need your help more than ever because they are shutting us down here on YouTube, and we need you to contribute. We need you to contribute. I know it's frustrating for you. It's extra frustrating for me because, you know, the harder I work, I'm just looking, and it's like, I know some of you watching have been helping out, and you have pledged $1 to $5 a month. I see that, and I really appreciate it. You are making it possible for us to even be alive at this point. But also, it's like less than 0.05% of people are actually pledging out of all of our subscribers. So it's really frustrating for me. And sometimes I feel like I'm making videos for a brick wall, and I wonder why I even bother, because it's like the vast majority of people don't seem to care that much about keeping medias alive, because within the next year and a half, 2 years, I almost guarantee we'll be gone, and all you'll have is Fox News, CNN, and you'll wonder what happened. What happened to all of it. Sin City Taoist says, I take niacin every day, large doses. Yeah, you get used to it for a while. After a while, when you almost never take it, though, however, you turn red in the face and start burning alive, so it should be fun. Let's see, I have a few comments coming in here. Let's see what we got here. Fly on the Wall says, hi, Josh. Hello to you, Fly on the Wall. Good to see you. Dead Rest says, Dead E-Rest says, cover, flush, and wash. Okay. F13 Media says, you should check sites like DLive. Yeah. I'm not, yeah, I know. We have broadcast a few times on DLive. I've been worn out just from, building up my presence so much on DTube and STEEMIT and then getting locked out of my account. It's very frustrating. Bob Collins 3 says 450K in less than a minute. Statistically improbable. Tell me about it. Again, we will be getting into that right away on how all these channels have suddenly lost a huge amount of their subscribers. There's the excuse and then there's the reality, and we'll get into both of those things shortly. But before I do that Niacin flush, I want to get to $50 in super chats, and then we'll go at it. Old White Guy says, LMAO, seems 500 people don't agree. Bye, loser. Okay, this guy's been... This guy has been commenting on our status or on our posts and our videos for quite some time. Old White Guy, old grumpy white guy, whatever you want to call him. It's kind of funny all the same. We got $5 Canadian in the super chat. Thank you, Fly on the Wall. Appreciate it very much. Again, those super chats get your comments to the top and allow us to actually stay alive a bit longer and keep the electricity on, because we are so crazy broke. It's ridiculous, because YouTube cut us down about 80%, and it also appears that 99.9% of people really don't give a damn. Bob Collins 3 says $50 in super chats or I'll shoot this puppy. I'm not going to shoot any puppies. I like puppies. But I am going to take this vegetarian, might I add, Niacin, and then take your questions. So once we get to $50 in super chats, I will take it. Sin City Tower says, how was Anarchadelphia? Anarchadelphia was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time, and I really appreciate hanging out with all the great people out there. There's lots to do, lots of awesome individuals coming together to speak the truth. And I did a panel with Dan Dix, Press for Truth, Luke Rudowski of We Are Change, Derek Bros of The Conscious Resistance, and Carrie Wedler, and a few. I can't remember everyone who was on the panel, unfortunately. But anyway, we did a kind of a panel just on how we're getting attacked, the lessons we've learned over time in independent media. But I think the number one thing to concentrate on is the fact that we will be gone very soon from YouTube, and we're getting ripped apart by whatever's left of us. Roots and Rizzo says, hit that like button, guys. Show your support. I agree. Hit that like button. Press like. Help us get into the algorithm, because 55 people out of 133,000 people are watching right now, and that's slightly concerning, is it not? Let's see. We got a few more things coming in. Again, Crypto Life 101 says, what happens if you don't get to $50? Then I shame people, because there's no reason that out of 55 people, everyone can't send less than $1. I know I'm getting a little bit edgy about all of this kind of stuff, because it's getting to the point where it's like I'm providing free content and traveling the world and risking my life and hitchhiking through third world countries and putting this stuff together. YouTube's shadow banning us to death, not allowing the vast majority of people to see us. And I can't get like 99.99% of people to donate a singular dollar a month. I posted a video earlier. It hit a couple thousand people with Dan Dix. And out of all of that, I've gotten 0 donations since then. It was like literally a video on how to help us, how to back us up on all these alternatives, and we got 0 donations after that, and that kind of makes me not so happy, Frank R. sent Australian $4.49. You're being used for a greater purpose. #bless. Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate that, and I do believe so. We're all getting tested in one way or another, and it's how we get around it that counts. At the time being, look, long term we'll be fine. For the time being, we're not fine, and we need people's help, and we need to come together for this reason. So we are essentially around $10. I'll put it up to $10. $15. Bob Collins 3 sent $5. Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much. So we are up to $15. We have, do the math, $35 to go before I take Niacin. Now, I want to, we'll go over what niacin is and everything, and I'm going to go over what has been going on as well as far as subscribers goes. So we'll get into that right away. I'm going to load this stuff up on the side. There has been a rather alarming turn of events here on YouTube as of today, suddenly after I posted my video on how we're getting destroyed by YouTube. By the way, every month I'm down about 48% or more. I think it was 65% last month in subscribers per month. And this is 41% down. No surprises there. This is our Subscribe Star, or not Subscribe Star. This is our Social Blade, and our Social Blade tells us what's been going on. And you could see over the last several months, we haven't been doing so well, and we've gone down about 80% in average viewership and subscriptions since this past January. Now, you can see as it was, we weren't doing very well. 4 subscribers a day, blah, blah, blah. It seems like the days that we got more views, we got less subscribers. Look, out of all our videos, like 1,500 videos, 2,979 views that day on the 5th of September. It's like, that's great. Thanks, YouTube, for showing people our thousands of videos to 133,000 people. And then finally, after like over a month of being in the 132,000s, one of our videos actually reached a few people. Our video on this pyramid that I studied in Greece that is said to be dated older than the pyramids of Egypt. And we hit 133,000. Well, we could see what happened here. 211 subscribers in one day. Awesome. That's almost a third of what we used to make on average a day on a regular day. But okay, that's what happens when we go quote unquote viral these days. 16,000, our old viewership, our average daily viewership was 45,000, but okay. And then we got 153 the next day. So we went from 133 to 133,212. 133,388 on this past Sunday. And then yesterday, 125 new subscribers. But look what just happened today. Minus 510 subscribers, and we could see that on other channels as well. This is Press for Truth. Bam, down 990, and you can see he has not been doing well either as far as subscriptions go and viewership. Look at that. He has 257,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah, 2,171 views for the whole day. It's ridiculous. He was 100% demonetized. It's truly sickening. We posted a video with him today. Look at how this viewership has gone down, even from January. January 2019, 1.3 million video views. This last month, 282,000 video views. This is what we've been dealing with. And finally, here's PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie is the #1 YouTuber, but he's also basically the most hated YouTuber by YouTube. One of them, anyway. He's down 450,000 subscribers today. Okay. If you say so. Now, many of you will notice that and this has a lot to do with algorithm, but many of you will notice this information button surrounding this downgrade of subscriptions. And we will get into why this is right away. But first, I'm going to get back to the live chat and see if we've built this up yet, because we need to get to $50 before I do this niacin flush. Surely, out of all of you guys, we can raise $50, and I'll take 2 of them, not just 1, 2, and you get to see me burn alive. Good times. So we got to get to $55. We are already up to $30. We've got $15. We need $35 more to get to $50 in the super chat. And by the way, YouTube already takes 90% of the monetization as it is. So if they are losing more money than we are by cutting us down as far as money goes. So it's more of just them trying to get control. It has nothing at all to do with advertisers or anything. It has nothing to do with money. It's them having power. Sprocket Rages says, no offense at all. Oh, you have to eat a bunch to get the cleanse and the burn. 42% actually. I went to a place called Violet's Vegan nearby. Lee Stewie says, super chats give money to the platform you're fighting against. Yeah, well, it also gives money to me so I can survive, so I don't die. First and foremost is being able to afford food and stuff. And again, a part of this video is going to be why we are moving away from YouTube and why you should join us on platforms like flote.app, flote.app. Come on and join us. You could see me getting really angry on here about how we are getting so little support. 0.05% of our viewers are helping us right now. We're on BitChute as well. Let's see if we got any new subscribers on here since I last posted. No. We're at 320 measly subscribers on BitChute, so go over and subscribe there. We're on Instagram at World Alternative Media as well, so make sure to go on there. We're just over 1,000 on there. And then we have Subscribestar. Subscribestar allows you to pledge $1, $2, $5, $20, $100 a month, whatever it might be, whatever you can afford. Look, everyone can afford $1 a month, right? Now, $5 a month will get you subscriber-only content, which makes a huge difference. We are also, of course, on Patreon. Patreon is, you know, the most mainstream of places to pledge. We could really use your help there. And, of course, GoFundMe. But GoFundMe changed how they show the number lately. This is from June 2nd, 2015. It's like 50-something months ago that I made this GoFundMe. And people are like, oh, you got $11,926. Yeah, over like almost 5 years. So split that into 5 years. Don't think that we actually have $11,926, though that would be cool if we could do that. And also I want to mention, as I should, we got Bitcoin if anyone wants to help us out there and give us a tip. I see. Oh, great! There we go. We got a pledge. Let me go back to my stupid face, and we got Jimothy Winkleman sent 199 pounds. Come on, you tight arses, contribute. I agree. Thank you so much. That's 2, so I'll count that as 3 because of the currency rate exchange. So let's just say that was about $3 US dollars, somewhere around there. It might be way off, but anyway, that means that we need $32 more before I take the niacin and take questions from you while burning alive. So it'll be fun for all of us. I mean, this is literally what I have to do now to get pledges or help in any way possible because I'm dying here. We're literally getting destroyed, and we're gonna go soon into what happened with the subscriptions on YouTube today, because of course most of us have lost a vast amount of subscribers today, and they gave us just this little excuse, and I'm gonna go over that shortly. Plunky the Clown says, just saying hello, Josh. Hello to you. Thumbs up to you as well. Make sure to thumb up the video as well. That helps. All we need is $33 more in the super chat, and we'll get on our way here. And then I'll start taking questions and take the niacin flush, which is, it's good for my health. You're making me healthier, all while making it possible for us to survive as a media. This is literally all I could do right now. It's ridiculous. And really, really frustrating and all that. But yeah, we've been algorithmed out of existence. We've lost 80% of our viewers this year. And only about, on average, 0.05% of our 133,000 subscribers are helping out. And it kind of makes me feel a little scared about the future of independent media when, like, we're just dying and a lot of people are like, oh, that sucks. Sucks to be you. Well, it's going to be sucky to be everyone when all you have is Fox News and CNN. So I have to crack the whip. I have no choice. I'm at this point where they've cut us down so much that it's like, guys, we need your pledges. $1 a month. That's all it takes. $1 single a month. $1 single a month. That's all it takes. And it's sad that I can't make that happen. It's sad that the vast majority of people won't do that. And I see there are people, obviously, that are helping. And many of you watching, I'm sure. Thank you so much. You make a world of difference. But hey, if you want me to continue making videos, we need to bring this up to speed a bit. It's crazy how few people are willing to support that which actually combats the mainstream narrative, which allows us to not fall into the trap of future wars and destruction. And we were more resistant to Syria under a better algorithm with independent media than we are now with Iran, where they're just taking down videos that are against war with Iran, and now the mainstream narrative's already changing, and people are talking, let's go to war with Iran, even so-called libertarians. It's ridiculous. We got Frank R. sent support alt media, please, friends. Send Australian $2.99 again. Thank you so much, Frank. You are awesome. You are truly awesome. I really appreciate that. Boiled Rope Lamppost sent $2. Put up art, brother. I really appreciate that, man. I really, really appreciate that. Let's see. That goes 33, 30. Let's say. Okay, so we need $28 more. Dr. Nomad X sent $1. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Nomad X. I really appreciate that. We need $27 more now, and I will go at this full force. And you get to see me go red in the face and feel crazy and, you know, flesh out my whole blood system. You're helping my health here, guys. Helping my health and helping the health of the mind of the masses as we try to combat the mainstream narratives that are being forced down our throat on a regular basis. And as I showed you earlier today, or earlier on in the video, we have seen a loss of 510 subscribers just randomly from our YouTube channel today, and we've seen a loss of 80% of our viewership overall since January. So you could see my last video was the end of indie media, the end of independent media. Did a video with Dan Dix, the Press for Truth, on that, and it barely got any views, of course, because nothing does on this channel anymore, and we got 0 donations after the fact of the matter, and almost nobody went to float.app, where we are putting our content now. We're trying to move over to float.app, flote.app. We are trying to move over to BitChute, which I am on. We are on Subscribestar, where we do subscriber-only content. We are on Patreon. There's no shortage, guys, here. Again, we are on GoFundMe. All the links below as well of the video, and it's funny because you know, GoFundMe recently changed it on us, so it looks like we got $11,926, but the reality is that's over 50-something months, almost 5 years, and so we certainly do not have $11,926 right now. Most of that money came in years ago, when people were still able to actually see our videos. We had a quarter of the subscribers, but we had like 20 times more viewers overall. Says a lot about the algorithm these days, doesn't it, folks? Now, let's get back to what's going on here. Frank R. sent another 99 cents Australian. Thank you. That brings it down to $26. We need $26 more. We're halfway there, essentially, guys. And then, let's see. The Liberty Advisor, Tim Bischotte, says, just put $20 producer tier on Subscribestar. There's only 2 people, including myself, at this level. Come on, people. Yeah, well, it's really, really hard to get people to contribute. No, I'm not expecting people to give me a bunch of money. Like, I understand, like, people can't afford $5, $20, $10, whatever. But people can afford $1 single dollar a month, $12 an entire year. Just don't get extra cheese on your next burger. $1, you're saving independent media, guys. I mean, seriously, it's really frustrating to see the lack of support. There are those that are watching that are supporting right now. You guys are the change you wish to see. You guys are awesome. You guys are really making all the difference. But the vast majority of people, again, 99.9% of people are not helping in any way, shape, or form. And it's really, really sad. Anyway, Dr. Nomad X says, does the niacin help? The niacin, it's a good blood detox. Let's go over this. Now, before we go over it, press like and make sure to send those super chats in. We got $26 left until I take the niacin. And come on, it's 24 minutes in. How long does it take? We've so far gotten less than $1 a minute. Well, about $1 a minute now of this live stream. So if you want to see me burn alive, send in $1, send in $2. I really appreciate it. It keeps us alive and stops us from completely dying off and you guys being stuck with CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CBC in Canada, BBC in Britain. You know, all those terrible mainstream media giants that are promoting war en masse. And trust me, there will be a new Iraq war. There will be a Iran war or something along that line if we can't save independent media and save the narrative and keep people questioning the establishment narratives on a regular basis. We cannot be told what to think. We need to have the option of actually looking into things and understanding or coming to our own conclusion of what we think. I don't know why Tim Pashot, the Liberty Advisor, all of his comments are getting automatically hidden. I don't know what a niacin flush is, but with the Subscribe Star subscription, you're only $6 away. We need the super chats. We'll get into what niacin is right away here. But I really appreciate all those that have contributed so far. Come on, we're so close. $26 more, and we get down to business. I don't have to ask for the rest of the video, and we can have some fun here. So let's get into what niacin is for those of you wondering, because it is an interesting little drug, I guess you could say. Here is one article from Healthline that says 9 science-based benefits of niacin, vitamin B3. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is an important nutrient. In fact, every part of your body needs it to function properly. As a supplement, niacin may help lower cholesterol, ease arthritis, and boost brain function. You know I need that right now, so send in those super chats, among other benefits. However, it can also cause serious side effects if you take in large doses. And I'm about to take in large doses, so come on. Don't you want to have some fun here, guys? This article explains everything you need to know about niacin. What is niacin? Niacin is one of the 8 B vitamins and also called vitamin B3. There are 2 main chemical forms, and each has different effects on your body. Both forms are found in food as well as supplements. And I should mention, I felt terrible the last little while, radiation poisoning, all sorts of stuff, because I've been traveling nonstop, to different stories and been on planes. I just came back from Philadelphia, and I went to Philadelphia a few days before that, and then I'd come from Greece, and again, not spending donation money on that. That's all actually just contributions from specific donors that want me to go to certain places, as well as a certain currency that I might have lost in a boating accident, if you know what I mean. Anyway, it's just been nonstop flight, and it's been killing me. My throat's been kind of sore. My glands have been swollen. I just felt not so good. And earlier today, I took some MSM. Don't ask me to, take that out of the abbreviation and actually explain what that means. It's chemical compounds. Anyway, I've took vitamin B12 today. I've taken zinc, magnesium, all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm trying to feel a bit healthier because it's just been wrecking me lately. I've been tired, stressed, working nonstop, and it's been impossible to win. Like, the harder I work, the more YouTube rips me apart and just destroys this media and destroys all my friends' medias, and it's very depressing. So I've been dealing with a lot of that lately, and it's been really sad. And I don't know, it's been really hard on my heart. It's been really hard on just my energy level and my immune system. And it's this is, as it says on this GNC bottle here, it says supports a healthy blood lipid profile. And anyway, as this article continues to say, nicotinic acid, a supplement. Nicotinic acid is a form of niacin used to reduce cholesterol levels and lower your risk of heart disease. Niacinamide or nicotinamide, unlike nicotinic acid, niacinamide doesn't lower cholesterol. However, it may help treat a psoriasis and reduce your risk of non-melanoma skin cancer. That's good. I got a little bit of skin cancer once. Very minor issue. Was easy to get rid of, but anyway, it's good to protect your skin as well, because if you need the sun, you need that vitamin D. That's another thing I took today, by the way. You need that vitamin D, but you also, and that sunscreen, the chemicals in it that can give you skin cancer, and then also the sun can give you skin cancer. You need to protect yourself. There's always natural cures for these things. Niacin is a water soluble, so your body doesn't store it. This also means that your body can excrete excess amounts of the vitamin if it's not needed. Your body gets niacin through food, but also makes small amounts from the amino acid tryptophan. So it says summary. Niacin is one of 8 water-soluble B vitamins. It's also known as nicotinic acid, niacinamide, and nicotinamide. How does it work? As with all B vitamins, niacin helps convert food into energy by aiding enzymes. Specifically, niacin is a major component of NAD and NADP, two coenzymes involved in cellular metabolism. Furthermore, it plays a role in cell signaling and making and preparing DNA, in addition to acting as an antioxidant. Deficiency. These are some of the symptoms of niacin deficiency. Memory loss and mental confusion, which I'm feeling right now. Fatigue, which I'm feeling right now. Depression. Well, how could I not feel depression when I'm getting my channel ripped apart in front of my eyes? Headache. I haven't had headaches in a while. Diarrhea. Haven't dealt with that anytime lately. Skin problems. None of that. So I got at least 2 of the things here that I could use the niacin for, which means I'll probably be feeling the flush pretty good. And anyway, that said, deficiency is very rare in most Western countries. Severe niacin deficiency or pellagra mostly occurs in developing countries where diets are not as varied. Summary: niacin is a vitamin that acts as an antioxidant and plays a role in cell signaling and DNA repair. Deficiency is characterized by skin problems, dementia, and diarrhea. All right, well, I feel the dementia, that's for sure. But anyway, it says how much you need. What you need is based on the reference daily intake, and depends on your age and gender. What they're saying that you have to have a gender? I'm super offended right now. See how good my jokes are right now? Like, this is why I need the niacin, which is why we need the pledges. Let me go back to the chat here, see if anyone's still hanging on. Let's see. Come on, guys. We still need $26 more before I take the niacin. Help us out, guys. Come on. There's 73 of you watching out of 133,000, which is already sad enough. But hey, I know a lot of you care. I know a lot of you want to help out any way you can, and I think this is the time. If not now, forever hold your peace, because we are walking down a slow walk towards death here in independent media. And if we don't help now, then very soon you won't be able to find us. You won't be able to do anything. We'll be gone. Basically, all the independent medias are ready to be ripped from YouTube, deleted completely. Our videos are being deleted off our channel, and we're getting strikes for inciting violence, for talking about physics and stuff. It's crazy stuff right now. So, Space Vibe Z says, "Keep up the great work, Josh. Thank you very much." Bobcat Cannon says $10 on Patreon. Well, let's go to our my Patreon here. And I'm going to refresh it. Let's see. Let's see. I got 117 patrons. Most is around $1. But I really appreciate all the help on Patreon over time. I don't know how much longer I'll really even be on Patreon, but let me just refresh my page here. And I'm not going to put it up on the screen because it infringes the people's privacy of the people pledging and everything. So I'm just going to check on the stats here while we are here. And we got a big one just now from Dr. Nomad X. Thank you so much. You are awesome. And we also just got another big one from Bobcat. So if you're watching still right now at the moment, thank you so much. You guys are making a huge, huge world of difference as we are dealing with this dramatic demonetization and censorship issue here on YouTube. So thank you so much. I see your pledges, and you guys are heroes to us in independent media. So again, awesome. Really, really appreciate that. Bobcat Cannon, I'm guessing that was you. Thank you so much. Darth Shady, Lavalin, hi Josh. Hello, Darth Shady. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Congratulations on the new book and all that. And I hope you're enjoying the weather up in Quebec. Sean Krush sent a thumbs up. Thank you. Make sure to thumbs up the video as well while you're at it. Really appreciate it. Again, you know what? I'll bring it down to, since we got these pledges and all this kind of stuff, I'll bring it down to, give us $10 more here, just $10, and in super chats, and I will do this nice and flush right here, right now. I'm opening the bottle. Come on, let's get this done. Let's make this happen, and then I'll take your questions. Again, it says take one, but it also says or 2 tablets. You can technically take one. I could consult a dietary physician of some kind. Paul Wall says, amazing. I just got home late from work to find that I was once again unsubscribed. Keep digging, Josh, from Toronto, baby. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That's what we needed. If you just tuned in, you just helped me take my niacin. You just sent in the last the last contribution I needed. That is awesome. Canadian $20. Paul Wall, thank you very much. Awesome. Let's get down to this right away. And Sin City Taoist, $2. Thank you very much. Says burn. I will definitely be burning in a moment. Dar Shady, what niacin is? It's just a flush of the blood system. Helps lower cholesterol. And what kind of baby? It's like sealed for your protection and child-proof. What kind of child can't rip this? It's a piece of paper. Anyway. Consult your physician or your local Clive de Carle type doctor before you take this. Niacin made me feel horrible. Good luck sailing a bangarang. Yeah, it makes a lot of people feel horrible. Myself once as well. My friend Aaron Nakamoto and Kingsley Edwards. Kingsley was a creator of Float.app, which everyone should join. FLOTE.app. He was the one that got me to do it first, and I think we were in, where were we again? We're in some state. Oh, yeah, we're in Florida for the Miami Bitcoin conference, and they got me to take it right before I went to bed, and I almost started on fire. So as we got here, we got 1 pill, 2 pills, and this is going to help flush out my blood system. My face is going to go red. Hence this. Here, I'll bring it back up on the screen because it's quite humorous. I had fun creating this image. This image is basically what the color of my face by the end of this video. So again, thank you, Paul Wall, for sending in the last of what we needed for this. People are like, don't do it. Maybe that's why I wasn't getting the pledges as fast as I was expecting. Anyway, and the pledges, still make sure to send them in, help us out, keep us alive. Those things keep us alive and make it possible for us to combat this crazy demonetization, which we're getting to right away, and the loss of subscribers. So let's do this. 1, 2. I can't swallow it. Should have done one at a time. All right, got both of them down. Took me a while. Man, that tastes bad. So they recommend you take 1. I just took 2. Says you can take 2 on the bottle, so if anything really bad happens, that's a huge lawsuit, so I doubt they're willing to gamble with it. Honestly, I could probably be fine taking 4, but I'm not going to. So the effects will be noticed in a few moments. Well, not in a few moments. Within the next, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. That's why I wanted to push the super chats as fast as possible here, because it's takes a little while to kick in, but trust me, it'll be noticeable once it does, because I don't take a lot of niacin. I've been taking a lot of vitamins as well as MSM today, which helps also emphasize the effects of different supplements. Funny, I'm in independent media and taking MSM. I still cannot figure out or memorize what that means, but anyway. Again, we have to thank now Paul Wall. Everyone give him a big thumbs up and thank you here in the chat for getting me on drugs. Anyway, so we got two niacin down. And again, for those just tuning in, niacin is a blood flusher kind of thing. It helps lower cholesterol, helps with healthy blood. It's going to make me a little weird in the head soon. Going to make my face go really red. So hopefully I can emphasize the color a bit. Let me see if I can get the lighting right here. I know. I'm going to open this window. That should bring in a bit more light. Anyway, I don't need this. I don't know why I keep picking these up. Again, I've been feeling totally out of it lately, kind of stupid. And just it's from all the traveling and all the moving and all the running around, the planes and all that kind of stuff. And Ninja Master says niacin hurts. Oh yes, it can. It certainly can. In fact, there's a time where I had to sit on the floor holding my head for like a half an hour because I felt like I was literally being burned with an oven in my face. Ninja Master says going to feel like pins and needles. That's part of it as well. It's kind of awesome though. I mean, it is a really cool. You could feel the detox happen. Now, niacin is in a lot of your food, by the way, but in very small doses. This is 250 milligrams, and I took 2. Honestly, I could probably take more and be fine. In fact, I think some of my friends take a bit more than that. In fact, I know one guy that recently took like 5 of them at that rate, and they're fine, but also it could cause some serious side effects that could seriously make you go crazy. So anyway, we're still up for super chats if anyone wants to help out and keep this media alive. Let's go into the news while I wait for the effects to really start hitting me here. Sailing Bangarang says, hey Josh, I'm refitting the Dash Mobile. Come visit us in Arizona. Danny Sessom. Is that who Sailing Bangarang is? It's been a while, Danny. I have to say, it's been a little while since I last saw you. And the Dash Mobile, awesome vehicle, great advertisement for Dash, and it's been a few months. Usually I see you everywhere, Danny. So I'll definitely come down to Arizona when I can. I'm trying to not travel until next year, but I got big news for all of you guys, and it's not going to cost me a cent. I'm going to Antarctica in February. Anyone think that's cool? Because I think it is. I think it's insanely cool because I wasn't going to turn it down. Anyway, there's a guy that I know who might have a plane and wants to go to Antarctica, and he's been there already, and he is up to bring me to Antarctica, so I'm going. So why not? I'm going to Acapulco to cover the Anarchapulco conference, and I'm going from Acapulco straight to the tip of South America, and then we're taking a boat across to Antarctica. So it's going to be a bit of a weather change. It's their summer, so it'll be like a minus 20 Fahrenheit, maybe up to minus 40 Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. It's nothing I haven't dealt with in Winnipeg, Canada, where I come from. So, in fact, it gets much colder there. So, it'll be cool. I'll be able to see the end of the earth for the flat earthers out there. Anyway, and I'm not paying anything for that. No donations are going into that, though I'm sure many of you would be totally fine with if I did do that. But nonetheless, that's not what's going on. I'm going down there and anyway, with a friend of mine who is helping me get there. Cody Chismark says, I flushed one time in high school, never thought about doing it again. Yeah, because most people learn from their first time. I'm a sucker for punishment, and I'm doing it for super chats and my health, I guess. Darth Shady Lavalin says, then no risk. Josh is already crazy, but in a good way. Yeah, I'm crazy. Sailing Bangarang says, no, Danny is Dashmobile 2.0. Then who are you? Who's Dashmobile 1.01, whatever you are? Trunk Mc8 says, wow. Mr. Nomad X says, wow. Yeah, that's my thought too. Loner Morrison says, Antarctica, holy F, that's crazy. I agree. It was... most of these decisions happen after a few drinks. That's how I ended up going to Mauritania, and this is how I'm going to Antarctica. I'm going to Turkey in a few days, by the way, too. An awesome donor is sending me there. Hopefully people see the videos when we put them out, because we're going to Göbekli Tepe and a few other places. So stay tuned for that. Liberty Advisor says, I wonder who that guy is. Who is Dashmobile 2.1? I don't know who... who I'm dealing with. I deal with a lot of people, but I'm pretty sure your real name isn't Sailing Bangarang, so it's kind of hard to figure that one out. Let's see. Russell Melton is commenting. Lol, I couldn't resist. End Flat Earth says, in Naystat, Lona Morrison Flat Earthers make me laugh. That's one of the many things they make me do as well. Let's see. Digivox J23 says, can I meet your friend? Well, he shows up in places here and there. You might bump into him if you come to one of the conferences. You might see him at Anarchapulco. And no, it's not Jeff. It's not Jeff. But no, you might see him at... Okay, Jeff isn't going to fly me to Antarctica. I mean, I don't think he even believes in Antarctica. Just saying, Jeff. But no, I mean, like... we're having, you know, Anarchapulco coming up right away. Use promo code WHAM, by the way, to save 10% on your tickets to Anarchapulco. Best conference in the world, by the way. Kevin Harlan says, I'd love to niacin flush. Yeah, it's an interesting feeling, that's for sure. Starting to feel just a little bit of it. My legs feel a little warm. Should be spreading to my face very shortly, and you get to watch that. Let's see. The Liberty Advisor says Jeff would give you a one-way ticket. Yeah, seriously. Path is narrow says don't diss the truth, loser. All right. Anarchapulco. Yeah, that's probably what we should do. We should have an Anarchapulco event at Anarchapulco. We can have hot tubs, parties. I'm sure nothing could go wrong when you send a bunch of anarchists to Antarctica. Let's see. We got some more comments coming in again. Super chats, help us out. Go to the top and make it possible for us to survive here at WHAM. So help us out any way we can. I'm going to go back and thank all the people who sent super chats so far. Sin City Taoist, Paul Wall, Frank R, Dr. Nomad X, Boiled Rope Lamppost. One of my favorite names for a channel, because why not? Jimothy Winkleman, Bob Collins 3, and Fly on the Wall. You are all heroes, and you're all making it possible for us to stay alive here. Truth is buoyant. You'll be read soon. I already feel it kind of coming, going around my face a little bit and around my throat area. Definitely starting to feel it. I do act kind of weird on niacin, so this should be an interesting experience for all of you. Inay Stat says, I'll take a cannabis flush. Yeah, well, hey, will you guys give huge super chats if I just smoke a ton of cannabis? I don't smoke weed, so I used to, but I don't do it these days. How many super chats will you give to watch me talk about economics through like 5 grams? Where is that going to bring me? I'm at a desperate point in time where I have to do whatever I can to, keep the money flowing in so we can actually keep this media up alive and, reporting on stories. Let's see, we got more things coming in. Darth Shady Lavalin says, does niacin make you flush as in bathroom flush? You're going to need to do that live, right? I am legit wondering what it does. What's with the scatological humor, Darth Shady? Come on. No, I am flushing my bloodstream. Come on. Grown adult. Those jokes are just childish, but funny. Okay. Anyway, truth is buoyant. I already went through that. I love niacin. The Sailing Bangarang says, climb that ice wall and film. Yeah. What people don't realize is that ice wall only goes, for a certain amount of miles, but then there's islands that go down. You could actually get up. Anyway. See if I can get to Rothschild Island. Trunk McEight. Red. Agreed. That is what I'm starting to feel on my face at the moment. Count Spooky says, good evening, sir. Most counts are quite spooky, so I agree with your name. Doug209 says, I missed the flush. What happened? You haven't missed it yet. It's just starting. I took the niacin, now 10 minutes ago or so? 15? I'm starting to feel like I am in a really hot climate, and my legs are feeling really uncomfortable, so it's super difficult to sit right now. But I feel like everything in my legs really hardcore, like all the temperature. I feel like with the touch of my hand, it feels like they're cold, but my legs are really hot feeling right now. And anyway, the Liberty Advisor, my comment was about the person flying you to Antarctica, as I'm 99.99% sure who it is. Yeah, you would probably know, Tim. You would probably know who it is, and you're probably right. In fact, we'll just say it starts with a J, and it's not Jeff Berwick, and you know who it is, exactly who it is. I think I just made a lot of people aware. Truth is buoyant. The itchiness is probably already there. My knees are really itchy. It's not affecting my face as much as it usually does, which I really wanted it to do because it would have been fun for this live. Aaron Nakamoto says, YouTube notified me that you were live 44 minutes in. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's not like YouTube is out to help keep us alive, but are you guys? Are you guys out to help keep us alive and make it possible for us to, fund our media? About $1 a month, $2, $5, whatever. Let's see. Russell Melton says, dude, you ain't talking about, what, after 5 grams, LOL. Sorry, I'll be completely shut down for monetization if I swear on this channel. Yeah, well, we'll see. Hey, you know what? I wasn't bad when I was a teenager at smoking weed. I can't do it anymore, but hey, let's try it out. If we can raise enough money, you know what? I'm thinking of doing a 12-hour fundraiser live stream with multiple guests soon. And if we come up to on the end of the event or the live stream, maybe I'll bring that in as kind of a way to bring in last-second donations. I want to raise $20,000 to help keep WHAM alive for the next rest of the year into next year. It's really important. We are so screwed right now. It is scary. Plunky the Clown, it's impossible. If the earth is flat, how can it be dark in China and daylight in Indiana? You're absolutely right. It's a very good point, and a point I've made a few times, and a friend of mine was just making to a guy at the Anarchapulco event. I have to bounce down a little bit. Getting a little hot here. Getting a little bit hot. But anyway, we're going to get into why we just lost a bunch of subscribers right away. But I do see more comments coming in, and I want to keep up with as much of it as possible. My back hurts says, oh man, used to hate doing niacin before a big drug test. Oh, well, there's that, I guess. That is something I guess people do. I didn't really think of it that way. I don't have to do drug tests, luckily. Not that I do any drugs, but kind of, I work for you guys, unless you make me do a drug test. Aaron Nakamoto, watching you on niacin is my favorite thing. So Erin was the one that originally got me to do niacin, so you could thank her in the comments there. And I ended up burning alive, and I was like freaking out. I had to sit on her counter and on her floor for a bit, and it was not expected. And she did the same thing to me in, I think, Fort Myers last year, right before I went to bed. And I'm like in bed, like tossing and turning, and I just hear them in the next bed laughing at me and making fun of me. Because they like seeing me miserable. But also, she says, sending money on Float. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get this open here for a moment. For those wondering, join us on Float. If you're not on Float, get a Float account. flote.app. flote.app. I'm at Josh Sigurdson, and I'm also at Wham. And my toes feel really weird right now from the niacin. All right. This feels, this is just starting to really kick in, and this is... going to be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so we are on Float. Come join us on Float. Follow us. We're going to be off YouTube soon. Float is going to replace Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, Twitch. And they already are, really, and they're really rolling this all out. You know, with the Reddit infrastructure is coming soon, I think, and huge monetization incentives for creators as well. And they're also replacing Patreon, so you can send money to me through there. Pledge monthly in Bitcoin. My balance is rather low right now. $12.22 is my Bitcoin balance on Float. So don't be afraid to go on there and help out in any way you can. And it's really great security on the wallet. And I'm sure Kingsley will be explaining that in the near future as well. We're also on BitChute. Let's see if since I mentioned it on this live stream, if anyone new has subscribed. We got 4 new subscribers. Thanks to the 4 of you watching this live stream who surely were the ones who did that. Thank you very much. Make sure to join us on BitChute. I'm going to update to my latest videos soon. I'm a little bit behind at the moment. I'm trying to catch up after a long trip to a bunch of crazy places. And of course, Subscribestar is a must. It's something that is helping us survive right now. We have 741 shares regarding our Subscribestar on Facebook, but we have 36 subscribers. We're around the $2 and $5 a month tiers. We got one $20 subscriber. We could really use your help right now, and the $5 or more gets you into a tier where we give you free, well, not free, guess if you're paying $5 to $20, it's not free, but you'll get subscriber-only content that you won't find elsewhere, including we got a whole documentary up there on JFK that YouTube deleted and banned worldwide. So make sure to check that out. We're also on Patreon. Help us out in any way we can on Patreon, and we are on GoFundMe as well, all linked below. Now, gonna jump back quickly to the chat and then see. I'll bring it to you guys' attention what's going on with our subscribers. Loner Morrison says, I gotta do foot fetish videos because YouTube won't monetize me. LOL. Well, that's an interesting comment. Whatever you need to do. I'm sure you got a few new customers from this chat. Let's see. We got... I can't keep up with all these comments. I have to bounce down a bit. Bamboo says lol and then says bye. Silver Trader says $5 in Litecoin sent your way. Thank you very much. We do have our Litecoin address below. I've never actually in the last 8 months got any Litecoin donations, so I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Evan F says, Josh, glad you're here. I'm glad I am too, but I won't be for long. So anything that you guys can do to keep me up and running, I really appreciate it. All it takes is that $1 a month. Bead Bog says, were you not consuming ample amounts of water and in a sauna when you did the niacin? I don't know. I'm like on fire right now, and I'm like going through different bursts of weird feelings. And I just got really cold. Really, really cold. I feel like I'm in really cold weather right now. All right. That's great. Truth Seeker says, when will the dollar collapse? 5 years or less? The dollar, well, I cannot say exactly when it'll collapse. I just know that it inevitably has to. And when we see all the telltale signs right now, look, we're looking at negative interest rates in the future, up to the point where Trump is even saying that he wants it to go into negative interest rate territory. That's ridiculous. That's void of any form of basic economics. And we are looking at a lot of people moving towards gold and silver, including banks, major banks, though private ownership is at a historic high. And then we're also dealing with cryptocurrency, a lot of fluctuation, and a lot of people moving towards crypto at the moment as well. And a lot of people just don't have faith in the dollar. The Fed has been plunging the market. Well, it's plunge protection team, I should say, but in long term, technically plunging. That's the irony of it. Throwing money at the stock market to keep it up and running alongside share buybacks. We are at we're entering into a giant everything bubble. Sorry, this niacin's really kicking in right now. We are entering into we got a derivatives bubble that's multi-quadrillion dollar levels worldwide, and we are watching the yield curve flatten and invert. And I mean, the bond market is a bloodbath. Housing markets are collapsing. The auto bubble is bursting. And what are we expected to think? I mean, in a time of crisis for the monetary system, you see wars and you see the push towards war. And I think that war with Iran is part of that as well. I'm one to believe there's a conspiracy there. And they're trying to save the world reserve currency, of course. Let's see. We got Brian Jones is called Flushing. Yeah. Okay. Jack of Vanadium says probably. Digavox J23 says 6 months or less. I mean, it could very well happen in 2 weeks. It could happen in 5 years, but I can't see it going 5 years. It's so crazy that's even lasted as long as it has. David Mock says, "Don't give up, Josh." I'm trying not to, but I'm probably going to give up on YouTube soon, and have to just post 100% on other sites. And the problem is only about less than 1%, way less than 1% of our viewers are actually going to the alternatives that I'm suggesting, and it's really sad because we're stuck in this massive censorship monopoly that we call YouTube. Okay, there we go. Sorry, this niacin is really kicking in. If for those that are interested, I'm going to throw this up here anyway. First of all, there's our Bitcoin address for anyone that's interested in tipping in Bitcoin, and we have other cryptocurrency addresses linked below. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it at the moment from this niacin. Here is pictures of niacin because this is exciting. I don't know why I brought this up. There is someone with way too many pills in their hands. And there are more pictures of people with too many pills in their hands. Yep. Niacin compound to support cellular health. So it helps. So I got GNC niacin, 250 milligrams. I took 2. I'm seeing other things that say no flush. Like, what is this? Why would I not want the flush? It helps prevent niacin deficiency. Well, I guess I'm not getting it from Weber Naturals. I prefer having fun. I really should have gotten the 1,000 milligram stuff, though. This sounds like it would have been enjoyable. Man, I guess I could have taken more than 500 milligrams. That's for the next time, I guess. Because I'm definitely feeling it, but I'm not feeling it as much as I usually do. I'm definitely like, I feel like I'm sweating, but I'm not. My skin is all sorts of temperatures, but I'm not like falling on the floor like I have in the past. We went over this earlier. It's just basically what do you need to know about niacin and how it's also known as vitamin B3. Let's get into the subscription issue here. So I know it's an hour in, so let's get into the subject. One of the subject matters of the title. I waited way too long. I apologize for that. So today, after posting a video on how YouTube is destroying our channel and how we need your help more than ever, or else we are doomed, I see this 510 subscribers lost, and that happened in less than a minute. I saw the same thing on Dan Dix's channel, Press for Truth, 990 down. I saw the same thing on PewDiePie's channel, 450,000 down. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, there's a reason for it, and now I think there's two sides to this story, and we've been dying for a while, and they've been taking our subscribers. We've gotten thousands of messages over the last year of people saying that they were unsubscribed from our channel, and then YouTube says, well, they were bots. Well, one thing I thought was interesting about this drop in subscriptions is that it fell to solid numbers, and they've changed it recently on Subscribestar since I originally saw it. It says 133K. It says 256K, obviously different than 256,996. Wow, my head is on fire right now. Whoa. Okay. Continuing on, PewDiePie's fell to 101 million. Man, I could use that subscriber basis. Yep. So anyway, I saw this information bubble, and I checked out what does this mean? What's actually going on? Well, it says here on Subscribestar. I'm literally on fire right now. It hit me suddenly, like really hard, just out of nowhere. Those just tuning in, I'm on niacin, thanks to our awesome subscribers and Paul Wall, who sent that last. I'm blaming you, Paul Wall, for that last super chat. Thank you very much. The super chats keep us alive and keep me on niacin doing blood flushes live on YouTube. Anyway, so what happened was, it says here, as you likely have heard by now, as of September 2019, YouTube will be abbreviating subscriber counts everywhere except in Creator Private Studio dashboard. This will cause the subscriber number everywhere it is publicly shown, including on Social Blade, to be shortened to only 3 leading digits max. Read on to learn a little bit more about the change and how to adapt to this new change when looking at data on Social Blade. For the purpose of the screenshots below, we have backdated YouTube's change to September 2018, and in order to show you what things will look like before they actually go live on YouTube, the actual website will show live data up to the point when YouTube flips the switch. Update September 17th, 3 p.m. YouTube has started to roll this out to the APIs. Some, not all channels, are now abbreviated counts. And then updated September 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Most channels now have abbreviated counts. So many of you will be asking, why is this necessary? It's a good question, because it's the right question to be asking, because it's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. And it's a great way to not show people when they are deleting their subscribers. We are stuck between 1,000 subscribers. That's more than I wish I could have ever had when I was younger. And in one day, I'm watching that disappear from my channel, and they're like, oh no, it's just we're abbreviating it. Well, no, it's easier to hide fluctuations now on YouTube, And it's also a great way to essentially, ignore. Well, I bet you won't. They won't be saying that they're getting rid of bots anymore. By the way, they're just going to be saying, "Oh, well, it's just abbreviated. You don't know how many actual subscribers you have." You can still see it on a certain analytics thing. But anyway, the point is that they've been deleting our subscribers for ages. We've been seeing our videos get deleted and then flagged and getting community guideline strikes, and then it says we are inciting violence by talking with Richard Gage of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. So yeah, that's crazy. And wrong on every level. And they're saying the things that didn't go against their community guidelines 5 years ago, when I posted them 5 years ago, suddenly go against them, and now they're deleting things and flagging channels and taking things down. My ears are on fire right now. Again, if you're just tuning in, I'm on Niacin. I have to keep noting that. All right, carrying on. I told you this would be fun, guys. Anyway, so what happened is they've been deleting all these subscribers, and then they say they're bots, and then I'm getting hundreds and hundreds, and over time, over 1,000 messages from people that are saying that they've just automatically been deleted. But YouTube says it is just bots that they're deleting, but they're not bots. Well, now you don't have to say bots anymore. I am definitely going red now. They don't have to say it's bots anymore. They just have to say that, well, we have an abbreviated account, so it's bouncing from 1,000 to the next. It's totally unnecessary. You have to look at qui bono, who benefits, what the point is, why would they do that? And the answer is because it just helps them prolong their shenanigans a bit further and make it less obvious to people, because they have been actually right in our face lately and blasting us with this crazy kind of stuff. Saying that, like, basically they're mocking us. We go and we see like 500 subscribers gone. And look, if you look at my my Social Blade, I'll bring it back up on the screen for you guys again. If you look at this, you'll notice that it's been miserable for a while. And finally, my video on the Hellenikon Pyramid in Greece, which I rented a car and went to and reported on, was vastly shadow banned. It hit the front page on Reddit for about an hour, so it got a bunch of views. So I saw new subscribers come in, still only about a third of what my average daily subscriber rate used to be. And then we see this, and then it just deletes all the subscribers, the new subscribers I got in the last week. So what happens when we actually hit 134? Do I have to restart at 133? I mean, there's no actual explanation of this, and it's really concerning to me. And again, look at my viewership, guys. This is crazy. I mean, look. We used to get 45,000 to 65,000 on average, on a daily average, for viewership per day on YouTube. And we'd produce less videos, less often. We wouldn't go, the production quality wasn't as high. We weren't traveling to places to cover big things. And then now it's just really frustrating. We are next to death on YouTube. And this is why I'm telling people, and this is Dan Dix's channel, by the way, again, 990 subscribers down today. And again, his 9/11 video was just randomly deleted too. Anyway, this is why we are on float.app. Again, go follow us if you haven't already at flote.app. It literally takes 2 seconds. Open a new window, go to flote.app and join Float. All you have to do, just join it. I've been testing the algorithm too. I mean, a friend of mine built the thing, but what I've been doing is, first of all, I'll post something on Facebook to 8,500 people, and it'll reach maybe 2 people if I'm lucky sometimes. On Float, I'll post that exact same status, and it will reach, with 516 followers, like 20 times more on average, like by the end of the day. I'm actually reaching people on here. You actually see what you want to see. You actually get the news feed. You don't have a filtered news feed that the CIA is manipulating in order to control your mind and stop you from getting information and destroy independent medias and prolong the reign of these stupid, dying off mainstream medias that, sure, we will prevail over in the near future, but at the moment we are getting killed by. They are slaughtering us. Ever since Donald Trump got into office, it's just been downhill because the mainstream media was dying, and now suddenly everyone is watching it. Wow, I am on fire right now. Whew. I don't know what my ears look like. Let's go back to this. Am I looking a little red, guys? For those just tuning in, I'm on niacin. And I only took 500 milligrams. Apparently people take 1,000 milligrams. I think that might be what I've been taking before. Aaron, if you are still watching, what was I looking at before? I know you're looking at houses or something today for your future mother-in-law. If Chrissy's watching, hello to you. But how much do I take usually when I'm with you guys? Let me know in the chat if you're still watching. But anyway, man, yeah, I'm definitely looking a little rosy looking. Looking sunburnt now. Yeah, I feel sunburnt, very much so. And I'm also, remember, I'm on niacin, I'm on niacin, obviously. I'm on vitamin D, vitamin B7, or not B17. I wish I was on B17. B17 is awesome. But I'm on B12 as well. I'm on MSM. I'm on zinc. I'm on magnesium. And a few other things. Because I'm trying to feel better after nonstop traveling and being on planes. I feel like I have radiation poisoning. I've just not been well lately. And I look like a tomato. Great. But anyway, if you haven't yet, help us out. Press like on the video and help us out, guys. Send in your super chats. Do whatever you can. I'm doing a niacin flush for you guys live on YouTube. I read niacin flushes can cause massive flatulence. Well, I've never experienced that, so I cannot say that is necessarily true. I don't know where you've read that. It's basically just a flush of your blood system and helps lower cholesterol. I don't know where the connection would be with something like that. Truth is buoyant says Satan is real and so is God. Pick a side. I'm not denying that at all. I get a lot of attacks for realizing that is very much the case. Space Vibe Z says, Josh, transform what into an apple or a tomato? Because I feel like I'm doing that right now. I am definitely feeling the burn, and not the kind of molestation type of burn that you get from someone like Bernie Sanders taxing 90% of your income away. Donna Daly says, yep, you look red. I feel red. Very much so. All right. So Cornelius Oliver says, sorry to hear about your issues, but what about Fed? What about the Fed? They are probably going to lower interest rates further soon, and we are going to enter into negative interest rate territory. I recently did a live breaking story. Again, if you're just tuning in, if I look crazy, I'm on niacin. We just did a recent breaking story on how Trump has been calling for negative interest rates. All works so well with these calls for war with Iran, which is based on complete nonsense if you haven't noticed. I just did a video on Press for Truth with that on that, as well as on my channel a couple days ago. So make sure to check that out. Help us out, guys. We got 79 people watching of 133,000 subscribers. And that can't be right. Most people are not getting notified. So make sure to press like if you haven't already, and send us those super chats so we can stay alive. It's the only thing that's allowing us to stay alive right now. Should you be drinking lots of water right now, says Dawn Morning? Probably. Probably be a good idea. Let's see. What was I getting into before? Oh, yeah. So float.app is an incredible alternative to what we've been dealing with before, as well as like BitChute. We are on BitChute, and let's see if so far. Last time I refreshed this, we had 4 new subscribers from the live stream. Let's refresh this again. We have 2 more. So far we gotten 6 new subscribers on BitChute since we started this live stream. Let's bring that up a little bit, guys. BitChute is literally the only great option right now for posting videos outside of YouTube, and hopefully they get monetization down soon because we need that to survive. We are really in bad shape. Float, again, I'm on Float at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham. Let's see here. This is my other account on Float. So again, you guys can help us out there. I don't post as much on the Wham one as I do on my own personal profile. I'm going kind of like Facebook. We are posting statuses, personal stuff, and stuff like that that you don't see on other platforms. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm going crazy from this Niacin. We are on Subscribestar again. We got one more new subscriber. I just saw the subscribers go from 36 to 37 on Subscribestar. So thank you for whoever did that. That was awesome. I'm going to check that out right away. Oh, and it was a $20 producer tier subscription. That's awesome. Thank you. That is seriously hugely what we need right now. Same with on Patreon. And again, on Subscribestar, and everything's linked below the video. On Subscribestar, this is where we post subscriber-only content, including our documentary from about a year and a half ago on JFK that YouTube banned. Oh, I'm very itchy right now from this Niacin. Like, ridiculously itchy all over and on fire. It took a little bit longer than usual to kick in, but it is doing its job now. Let's see. We need help on Patreon. So let's see. I'm going to refresh this here and see what's going on. We haven't got any new Patrons yet. Oh, well, we did get Dr. Nomad X and we got Bob. Again, thank you so much for those subscriptions on Patreon. It's awesome. I really need to change this welcome video on Patreon because the weird thing is, and the video is called, it's from 2017, it's called 2018, the year independent media takes over. And this video, we were correct in saying that it was kind of taking over in 2017. In 2017, we kind of took over, or 2018. But then by the end of the year, it started to kick back. And in December, I had my best month ever. And then suddenly in January, everything crashed and burned all around the same time. I remember how excited we were at that time. We're like, oh man, we're getting things done. We're going places. This is awesome. G. Edward Griffin, you see there, great friend and awesome mentor. And we got Dr. Tim Ball, the climatologist. That was a good time. I love these memories and everything. I barely ever look at my old videos. There's right in the back of a vehicle in Acapulco, in the back of the vehicle of John Galton, who ended up getting murdered earlier this year, unfortunately. Yellowstone, good times. There's Las Vegas, our current base as well. There's James O'Keefe, Dan Dix. Good times. And, you know, this is the thing. We were taking over, and then suddenly, all at the same time, YouTube decided, nope, and cut us down 80% in viewership. We're so happy back then. We used to look big smiles on our face. Now I'm just like, we need tiers, we need producers, we need pledges, we need donations, or else we are going to have to delete our channel. And it's really, really sad that we're at this point. Really, really sad. It's our interview with Ron Paul, Maxime Bernier, John Lamb. There's G. Edward Griffin. I got to keep up. Larkin Rose debate. Oh, that was fun. Adam Kokesh and stuff like that. Luke Rudowski, Dan Dix, the good old days. And it's kind of just fallen into really hard times now, and I'm not sure how we're even managing to keep the lights on at this point. We're literally, I'm so much in debt right now, it is ridiculous. And you could see our subscription base fall like a rock over the past while. Very sad, very sad. But it comes down to you guys to keep us alive and be the change you wish to see in the world, and we will win long term. Just short term, this is the most brutal, worst time to be in independent media. Seriously, absolutely terrible. Truth is treason in the empire of lies, of course, as Ron Paul says. Truth is buoyant. Sent $5 in the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, God loves you. You'll find him at the bottom of the rabbit hole. And we keep digging, and I really appreciate that. Truth is buoyant. You are awesome. And really, that's the kind of thing that we need. We need to look forward at, we have fences and walls in front of us. We need to, build those ladders and jump over. And I don't know. I'm kind of crazy right now because I'm on Niacin for those just tuning in. But Chad Meyer says, anything about the die hold? I really don't want to bug you, Dan, Luke, Corbett, Jason, James. I love you guys, but really need some answers, and I'm so broke I can't donate. I don't know what you mean by die hold. I'm not quite sure about that. What that means. I don't know. I do have to say, though, as far as when we're when we're dealing with what we've been dealing with lately, I'm extremely broke. I could do $1 a month. I mean, if everyone gave $1 a month, if 5% of everyone gave $1 a month, it'd be like $6,000 a month into Wham. That's just 5% of you, just $1, guys. It's really sad to see the lack of participation in keeping us alive as the mainstream medias are successfully starting to take over because people are just silent and complacent on it and not doing anything. I obviously there's people on this chat, people on our Patreon, people on our Subscribestar, etc., that are helping us go on a GoFundMe as well and sending crypto. There's people helping us, and you guys are seriously making a world of difference for us, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. The vast majority of people aren't helping, though. So I have to crack that whip sometimes and say, look, guys, I'm providing free content on a regular basis. I'm risking my life in a lot of cases. And as YouTube hits us harder, it's like people aren't willing to give a single dollar. It's just sad, and it's frustrating, and it's scary, and it's frustrating all at the same time. And honestly, it comes down to sometimes I wonder why I even bother. But I do bother because I see people like, for example, Lynn Albrecht, mother of Ross Albrecht, going to all these events, and she's just such a awesome woman, and she's just running around the world for her son, to get her son out of the cage that he's been thrown in. If you haven't signed the free Ross petition, you should. Just type in or Google free Ross petition. And, you know, it's that kind of stuff that inspires me. And then as well as the viewers that are watching and the kind comments, that's what makes me, you know, feel a bit better about all of it. Truth is Buoyant sent $5 in the super chat again. Thank you so much. That's super awesome. God bless. God will provide for me. I shouldn't worry. Yes. My concern isn't long term. It's in the meantime, and how we can come together to keep this entity together. And I feel like all bad things lead to good things in the end, and I'm of the faith that I do believe that we are going in a good direction. I just, at this moment, for the time being, we are getting wrecked, guys. We are getting absolutely wrecked. Truth is Buoyant says donate. I just absolutely, we need it more than ever. You also said that's the same Niacin I take. Yeah, GNC, it was easy to get it there. It's actually pretty cheap place overall. Breed Bong says delayed release niacin positively affects the microbiome and could be the cause of flatulence. Just a thought. I don't know. I've never witnessed anything of the sort from niacin. Not at all. Also, not my favorite topic to go over. Truth is Buoyant says keep this man afloat. Have a few bucks for him. Yeah, guys. I mean, and either way, also, I mean, on top of that, again, we are on. Man, I'm red from this niacin. We are on BitChute. Last time I checked, 326 subscribers. Let's refresh this again. Still 326. So no one in that time has come to BitChute and subscribe. So make sure you do that, because again, we have to push people over there, because we are coming up to a point where any day now, YouTube will just take down our channel and you won't be able to find us anymore unless you're already subscribed and you know where to look. And I guarantee you 99% of people will not go and look. We'll just be gone. How many people do I know out there that have watched Alex Jones for years and said they were diehard fans, and then when he was kicked off YouTube, did not follow him to the app or anywhere else for that matter? It's just really sad. It's really sad to show the lack of support or see it, you know. We're on float.app again, flote.app, and we are on Subscribestar. Again, thank you so much for everyone that has joined our Subscribestar. We do subscriber-only content at the $5 or more tiers a month, and it makes a huge world of difference. So I really appreciate all of that. We have a JFK documentary on there that got banned. We also have little insights and raw video clips and stuff like that from our adventures around wherever wherever the hell we are and end up. Again, we are on Patreon and we have GoFundMe. We have the crypto addresses below, which helps. I see 517 followers on Float. I'm gonna jump again and refresh. Still have 517, guys. Come on over to float.app. They, again, are replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr. They do have the live stream possibilities. They have a Patreon alternative that allows for crypto pledges and stuff like that. And it's really important. And I'm very frustrated with the lack of people willing to make that jump. Why do you need YouTube so much? Why are you not willing to go to other places? You have to ask yourself that question after a while, because it's a worthwhile question. My reason that I'm still on YouTube, and I'm probably going to try and get off of YouTube before they delete me so I can tell people where to go, honestly. I think there's probably a countdown happening soon. Why I'm on YouTube is to reach people that don't already agree with me. It's outside of the echo chamber, but we're also developing a great community of different people with different ideas on float.app, as well as other alternatives. Minds.com I'm on PocketNet, and a whole bunch of different alternatives. But guys, we need you there. We need you there. We need you there. I can't say it enough. We need you guys to follow us to these places if you appreciate the work of all of us in independent media. Again, I'm not the only one. Press for truth. Let's bring this up on the screen. Bring Dan Dix, some new people on Float. Again, flote.app. He's at /Dan Dix PFT. All one word. And he's been posting stuff on there, and some of his videos that have been deleted from YouTube, including 9/11 videos, including ours as well. One of our top videos got deleted. And if you saw our video earlier today, myself and Dan Dix, I did a video with him in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And what happened was basically that they are calling all of our 9/11 videos inciting violence and taking them down and giving us community guideline strikes. And it's funny because, the videos that he took down, one of them is a video that used to be the top video if you typed in 9/11, just 9/11 on YouTube. The thing that would pop up first on the search was our video, Wham's video. And now they thought it's so controversial and so hateful that they had to take it down. It says a lot about the world we live in. Again, you can see our balance here. You can send us Bitcoin, and we got $12.22 so far in Bitcoin, mostly from, the developers of Float that are like, here, let's start this off, help you out, and keep you running, and really appreciate it. So yeah, we're on a whole bunch of different platforms. Again, they are abbreviating our subscribers at 133,000. So what happened to the 600 plus on top of that or so? Well, it was 510 that they deleted in one day, and they say they're just abbreviating it. But why am I getting dozens of messages from people saying they just randomly just got unsubscribed today? It's all an excuse by YouTube to be able to grasp more control over all of us. And man, am I ever red. I am so red. Oh, man. Okay, we got more people sending super chats. Chad Myers, $1.99. Thank you so much, Chad. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Please look at the Diehold Foundation. I certainly will. I appreciate you letting me know about that. It sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not really sure I know what it is. So I got to definitely look into that, and I appreciate the heads up on that. I'll do what I can. Darth Shady Lavalin sent Canadian $5. You are a brave young man, my friend. I appreciate that. I really do. Again, those super chats make it possible for us to stay alive. So really, really, really appreciate that. And you guys, these live streams are literally one of the only ways that I could keep moving as an independent media right now. Because as far as monetization goes in this platform, it's terrible. Don't mind me scratching. I am on Niacin. As you can see, my face is extremely red. I feel like I'm sunburnt. I feel like my skin is about to fall off. Seriously. I feel like I have a mask on right now. And I'm really itchy from it. Been taking Niacin. I am itchy all over. It's really, really difficult. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is like torture, the amount of itchiness I'm dealing with right now. See a lot of people saying bless you. Great to see that support as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Make sure to press a like on the video if you haven't already. And Let me know what kind of crazy detox do you want me to do live on YouTube another time. I see Jeff Berwick doing like crazy stuff I'm not going to do. He just put, he got injected stem cells into his genitalia live on YouTube while talking about like some political issue or something like that. I'm like, what is going on? That's so ridiculous. Donna Daly says, my super chat does not work. Sometimes they do that. You might have to refresh. I'm not sure. That's really weird if it doesn't. Let's see. Space Vibes says, looking like you got stranded in the Vegas desert. Yeah, or the Sahara. I'm actually redder right now than I was when I was in the Sahara Desert earlier this year. Which, by the way, I went into $10,000 worth of debt to do, and I barely got seen at all. My documentary was barely seen by anyone. Isn't that great incentive? Good old YouTube. My video literally saying that I was going to go to the reshot structure in Mauritania, Africa, which I hitchhiked across the country with Anna Pachenta and Micah as well, to go and report on, be the first person that really actually went to the site and did proper reporting, and I got screwed over, and a whole bunch of series of events happened. Anyway, the point is I went all the way over there, and I ended up $10,000 in debt, and my video saying that I was going to go over there got about 100,000 views on YouTube. My video where I actually go there, the whole documentary, that people like were screaming at me to post sooner, so I rushed it up, got about 70,000 views, and I'm lucky it even got to that after months and months. It's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It takes hitting the front page on Reddit these days to actually get viewed. So make sure to share our videos on your social medias as well. Any little thing helps. One view helps the algorithm, really, as long as it's all the way through. As long as it's not only like a 5-second view, because if you only watch 5 seconds of the video, what happens is that it gets kicked out of the algorithm and really hurts our ability to reach new people and be viewed. Truth is Buoyant sent another $1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's the kind of stuff that helps, guys. Just that, $1 and everything like that. $1, $2, $5, that kind of stuff. I mean, $1 a month. I mean, imagine that barely affects you. Come on. I mean, it barely affects anybody. And it makes it possible for us to carry on as independent media and continue to bring you free information on a regular basis. Chad Meyer says, I sure saw it. Great that some people saw it. Ron D, whose message was strangely hidden for some reason, says, like and subscribe and hit that bell. Yeah, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. It might help you get a little bit more notified on our latest videos. Again, I'm probably going to be leaving YouTube soon. My legs are not feeling good right now. Wow. That feels not great. Oh, and I got some videos going up. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put it on Subscribestar or actually post it for everyone to see because it's kind of humorous. I got a video of myself exploring an ancient tunnel that's partially built a couple thousand years ago in Greece and then partially rebuilt by the Venetians. Dark horror movie looking tunnel that I walked through with a camera in Anarchapulco, Greece, which could be one of the most ancient ports in the world because it's connected very closely to the ancient Egyptians through the city of Argos and close to that pyramid that I was reporting on in close to Anarchapulco and close to Argos. But anyway, so I did this video where I just explored this ancient tunnel, found a cave in, had to turn around. It was about 140 Fahrenheit in this tunnel. And I was burning up, and you might enjoy just watching me suffer there. Maybe that's how I get people to contribute, is to just do things on video where I'm suffering. People seem to like that. Like I am so on fire right now, and I'm so itchy. It's driving me crazy. Richard Budzik says, why are you doing niacin flush? I'm doing a niacin flush because I've been feeling terrible lately. I'm just trying to detox. But yeah, I want to post that video, and I also want to post a video of myself climbing a mountain to this castle because I almost died just climbing. Like I thought I was seriously, like I was passing out. I was seeing red. I was seeing a heartbeat in my eyeballs. It was super hot out, and we basically climbed up a mountain. And then I ended up accidentally walking, thinking it was stairs, walking along the edge of a wall that was crumbling on the side of the mountain. Crazy stuff, fun stuff. I'm just wondering if I should post it on this channel or at my other YouTube channel called Josh Sigurdson. which, by the way, you can subscribe to as well if you haven't already. Josh Sigurdson on YouTube. It might not be as shadow banned, though it doesn't have very many viewers. Anyway, I'm wondering if I should post that here or if I should post that to subscribers only on Subscribestar. I'm not sure. Donna Daly says, my super chat is not working. Help, please. That is so weird. I don't know why that would be happening to you. It's really disappointing that YouTube's doing that. They tend to like to make it difficult for me. I can't help. I don't know how that's not working. That's really strange. It's like the money button, the little dollar sign at the bottom should work. I don't know. That's strange. Christopher Albanese, but there is GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, all the other options for donating, and they might not take as much of a fee those ways either. I'm not sure what's best there. DT sent Canadian $1. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, DT. Those are the donations that keep us alive and make it possible for us to keep providing content on a regular basis. Let's see. We got Christopher Albanese says, review of Anarchadelphia. How was it? It was awesome. I mean, look, I like to understand the occult and know about the occult. I'm not a big fan of, I don't actually worship the occult. That's the difference. So there was a few things there that I wasn't exactly in agreement with, but I think that we should all be sitting down and understand these issues and give our thoughts if we disagree on certain things, and kind of come together as a group and meet with each other, meet new people. And I think it's interesting the fluctuation of the differences between the conferences from Anarchapulco to Anarcho Vegas, which I was part of, and then of course Anarchazona and Anarchadelphia, and I think there's Anarcha Portugal or something like that. A lot of options, and they're very different from each other, each one. And I love it. I just love to see so many familiar faces. I've made so many amazing friends over the years around the world, and people coming over to me, going over to them. I mean, it's just one of my favorite parts is just hanging out with people. It really is. And I've formed this incredible friend group with people I used to just look up to in media, and it's really an honor. It's an honor of a lifetime. It really is. DT sent another Canadian $2. Thank you so much, DT. Again, that is awesome, and that all adds up very much so here at WHAM, because it's that is allowing us to even post videos right now. Otherwise, we are out of commission, guys. We are probably not going to be on YouTube much longer. Make sure to send subject line yes, YES. Send subject line yes to world. Let me write this out properly. alternativemedia@gmail.com. worldalternativemedia@gmail.com. Send subject line yes to join newsletter and our email list, of course. Darth Shady Lavalin says, heading out. Best of luck with the flush, Josh. Take care. Thank you very much. Darth Shady, was great to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Makes a great deal of difference here, and it's great to have your support as always. And you also said, yes, those vids will be fun. I will consider posting those then. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to Turkey in a couple days thanks to a donor. So assuming I get out of there. Let's see. Chad Meyer says, so Jimmy from Bright Insight is really onto something, and it's great to see you do it. Don't stop looking for answers, but at least start with Douglas Vogt from Diehold. Why not apple cider vinegar? I do take apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar. It's been a huge help in stopping me from getting sick over the years and helping my immune system. Oh, man. I feel like, when it's like, if for those of you that have lived in winter climates, that have just lived in like a situation where it was like minus 100, it feels like, and then going in and like turning the heat on and that feeling of warmth after a while, after you've finally warmed off. I feel like it's winter time right now. That's what this niacin is doing to me. Like I'm so hot feeling, but I feel like I just came in and sat down in front of a fire. It's really cozy kind of feeling right now, after being outside in the cold, which it definitely is not cold in Las Vegas, I'll tell you that much. But we'll see what it's like in Turkey in a few days. Another big shout out to Fred, who is my donor, who is sending me there, and I really appreciate it, Fred. It's going to be awesome. Space Vibes says, doesn't Super Chat take half? If so, send crypto, no fees. I don't think they take half. If they take half, that's alarming. I don't think they take half. I think they do take like 20% though, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, GoFundMe takes a chunk too. Patreon takes a chunk. Subscribestar doesn't take much. Float takes nothing. Float takes 0% of the pledge. They are, seriously, this is why I'm telling people, go to flote.app, flote.app. And, oh, DT says 10%. All right. Yeah. But go to float.app and help us out there, or just follow us there. Just follow us on these social media platforms, these alternatives, as well as BitChute, where we are at World Alternative Media, and I'm at Josh Sigurdson and at Wham on Float. So make sure to find us there. Let's see. I think you could use, DT says, I think you could use different methods to monetize your brand, merch, affiliate marketing, etc. But yeah, also a good merge off from the mainstream platforms for your reports. Yeah, it's really important we move away from YouTube eventually and entirely, because they're going to delete us. It's better we leave before they delete us, right? You know, it's really important. It's just hard to motivate people to press a button and go $1 or float. It's frustrating. People are so complacent on a general level, and I know most of you guys watching aren't, but a lot of people are, and it shows when only 1% of our audience, less than 1% of our audience, is willing to help. So it's just the sad reality of the world that we live in, and people have become very dependent and expect things for free forever, and it's sad. Anyway. But yeah, monetizing, and we got affiliate marketing, but we don't get many hits on the affiliates anymore because we've been shadow banned so much. So we get such a small viewership compared to what we used to get. As for merchandise, I want to do that, but I need to keep the cost down as much as possible right now, because I literally can't afford to even get the merch made right now. Like, I'd have to get a whole bunch of pre-orders on stuff before I could even get it made, because I am that broke. I am so far under $0 right now, that it's actually really scary, because YouTube just cut away everything all in an instant, and it's made it, I'm like scrambling to pick up the pieces right now, and scrambling to stay alive. I went to grab food earlier, no drink, nothing to drink, can't afford a $2 water or anything, so just get the bulk packs. Beatbox or Bong says, you have to incentivize your audience to follow you off platform, Josh. Well, the incentive partially is that, you know, you can actually see my videos. Also, part of the incentive that I put out there is that I do a lot of private stuff and a lot of challenges. Right now, I'm doing a thing on how to, or I'm getting people to post their most politically incorrect memes on float.app. In protest of Facebook, because all the things that you'd expect to be thrown in Facebook jail for, I'm getting people to post on float.app today. It's just a meme challenge. Tree Pterodactyl says, you're full of, you know what? First of all, dude, come on, learn your, and your. When you're saying you are, it should be punctuated. You, apostrophe R-E, not your. What's mine? It's mine? My? Full of, you know what? It's basic. It's basic linguistics. I don't understand why so many people have such a hard time with that. And as for being full of it, no, I'm really not. But, I mean, congratulations to you, and hope you have a good life, and see you later. Tree Pterodactyl, didn't you travel all over Europe? Yeah, I did, and it costs more money to stay in one place than to move around. Usually train trips from place to place are $20 each, or €20 each. I mean, when you get to Europe, and you can get to Frankfurt for like $200. And so you end up actually spending less over there. Food is less expensive, all of that, and you can get more videos done, more work done. And I went to study things for videos and stories on the ground. Unfortunately, I got screwed a few times, and on top of that, like, I was using a certain currency that I might or might not have lost in a boating accident, and no donations were spent on that. And trust me, I did not have a fun time. I was in a really bad situation. You should have seen Athens. No one wants to stay in Athens. Beautiful historic place, but not so beautiful anymore. It's not a square piece of land that's not covered in graffiti and doesn't have people looking like they want to kill you every corner you go around. Man, I'm burning up from this niacin right now. You could tree pterodactyl and North Africa. Oh yeah, North Africa. There's a place that's going to be expensive. Third world countries, hitchhiking and staying in hostels. You got me there, tree pterodactyl. Well done. And you know, my idea of a vacation is going to Mauritania, where I could get my hand cut off for shaking a woman's hand, and I could have been killed. I mean, I was eating like leaves with vinegar in a lot of cases. Like, whatever, troll. But again, if you don't have like a 9-to-5 job, I think like you don't have to worry about the monetary incentives or opportunity costs that come with going on a trip, because you lose more money actually just not working than you do on actually going there. But no, I mean, I didn't spend any donation money on any of that trip. I'm trying to save that for just strictly wham and need to do things. I'm going to spend donation money on going to Iraq, which people don't seem to be very interested in, but I'm going to Iraq next year. I'm going to Antarctica for free in February. For those that that weren't tuned in earlier, a certain person is flying me to Antarctica in February after I go to Anarchapulco, and I'm going to Turkey in 5 days. But that's because of a donor, a person who is funding my flight, etc., to Turkey. People think I'm rich. No, I'm like literally going from story to story here. I'm so far under $0 that it's crazy. I'm very fortunate to be able to do what I do, but I mean, I'm also very unfortunate as far as money goes. I don't have any money. So anyway, I'm going to take a quick ad break just to quickly grab another water. So stay tuned. I'm just playing an ad, so hold on tight. I'll be right back, and stay tuned and press like, guys. Again, talk to each other in the chat, and stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. Did that work? Do you guys see an ad? I've never done that before. I just saw that there's an option button for playing an ad. Did that work at all? Let me know. I have no idea how any of that works. I just saw a button that says play ad. I'm like, that sounds cool. Sounds real professional to be like, hey guys, stay tuned. After this, I'm going to play an ad, and then play an ad. That was cool. You didn't see any ad. Oreo says, can't hear you, mate. Everyone else seems to. Well, it says there is an ad there. No ad. It said played ad. What? YouTube shenanigans. Probably demonetized and not allowed to be advertised on. There's literally a thing. It said over the video that it was playing ad currently, and then the ad ended, and then I came back. Oreo says, sorry, had you on mute. My bad. That would do it. Okay, so everyone says no ad. So that's nice to know. Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate giving me the opportunity to press the play ad button, go away for a moment, and then not actually play any ad. That's cool. Anyway, Russell Melton says, I really appreciate you going to all those places and giving us real news. I really appreciate doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world, and I couldn't be happier to do it. Just the thing is, I've gone into vast amounts of debt. People think I'm taking vacations. People forget, medias go to places to report on stories, and they, I don't know. Wait, Zaki Chowdhury says, was going to send you some Bitcoin, but then you lied about, and you know what, on Bernie for no reason. Meh, go F yourself. Okay, see ya. Ride off into the sunset, young one. People expect me to not call out organized crime. They're like, I'll give you money if you say this or do that. Well, that's what the elites have been trying on me for years. That's what the establishment has been trying on me for years. Say this or do this and I'll give you money. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and do things for money. I'm providing the truth as I see it. And I want to provide true information, not do things or say things for money like a puppet. That's, if you want that, go to the mainstream media, pay a reporter. I'm sure they'll do some false story for you, but I'm not going to do like just fudge my belief system and my ideas because someone was going to send me some Bitcoin. That's not how this works. But again, those super chats and everything make a world of difference. DT sent $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Says, I also donate to your Patreon, Josh Sigurdson, but there are no posts. Is there another Patreon account which is more relevant? Well, the thing is, I do the subscriber-only content on Subscribestar. The reason I do that is because Patreon has been shutting down a lot of my friends, and I don't feel like I should be giving as many incentives for Patreon as I am for Subscribestar. The reason I do all this stuff on Subscribestar is to do that. But I do answer messages on Patreon. I leave that open for messages so I can actually reach people. And, I get 1 million messages a day on all the platforms. And Patreon and Subscribestar are both ways that I can actually reach the audience and speak personally through messengers and everything. So you could actually message me on there and I will respond. And have private message conversations with you and everything. So I think, and it's important to provide that for people and for viewers. That's my view on it. I don't know. If you need something like, if you're $5 or more a month on Patreon, I can definitely help you out there and send you some links to Google Drive stuff that I have on, Subscribestar. I'm certainly not opposed to that. Tree Pterodactyl sent $5 in the super chat. Thank you very much. I didn't mean to rub salt in the wound. No worries. Mistakes can be made. I appreciate the super chat. Makes a huge difference. Again, I'm not running around to Europe and vacationing. I'm running around to Europe losing all my money because I'm refusing to touch the donations. And I'm trying to report on stories. I've got still 10 videos from Europe that I haven't posted, but I got back from Europe, went straight to Philadelphia. I just got back last night from Philadelphia for speaking at Anarchapulco, and now I'm going to Turkey in a few days. So it's just really hard to rush everything up, and I wanted everything to be of the best quality when I post it. Let's see. Joel Chip, do you think when the fiat currency crashes, it will happen in one day or a very short amount of time? When the U.S. dollar crashes and the domino effect takes place worldwide, I think it'll happen over a period of probably about 3 days. Mr. Nomad X says, you look miserable now. I feel really weird from the niacin. My upper legs are on fire, totally on fire. Truth is Buoyant sent $2 in the super chat. Research the Book of Enoch. I've certainly researched that. I'm very aware of the Nephilim, and that's something that I've been actually looking into a lot, especially in comparing that with my studies on ancient Egypt and the Babylonians, Sumerians, etc., and looking into Mayan culture and Olmec, Aztec, Incan, what I've been looking into in India and China, Indonesia, etc. So that's all part of the same storyline, and I definitely know very much about the Book of Enoch. I got made aware of it, I think, back when I was about 11 and started reading it, and it's never ceased to just amaze me. Chad Meyer says, what do you think about the pyramids being built for the geomagnetic reversals that happen every 12,068 years? And yeah, that's actually very interesting, Chad, because that's something that a lot of people weren't really analyzing until recently. And I think a lot of people have to thank people like Graham Hancock for, insinuating that as an issue. Brian Forrester as well, a friend of ours here at WAM. Sorry, I need the water after the nice, and I'm feeling like I'm super dehydrated. And my legs are literally I feel like I'm sitting on a stove. Oh man, very uncomfortable. I'm very itchy and burny, if that makes sense. Pins and needles everywhere. But anyway, so as far as the use of the pyramids for the geomagnetic reversals, I mean, you could look at the ley lines, you could look at how it concentrates electromagnetic energy, and you could look at the fact that there could be great cataclysms that also correlate with the change of the poles. So there's been a few theories lately and updated theories regarding the reversal of poles and how the Earth could be going through pole changes a lot faster and a lot more often than people actually think, and that the studies that have been done into past pole reversals has been largely wrong. It was first considered possibly what is it called, crustal displacement theory, which Graham Hancock, I believe, incorrectly points out, and he believes so now that it was incorrect as well. But he was going on what he could, and he was bringing up a study or he's bringing up an idea that has since changed the world because so much of what he said came true. But anyway, the crustal displacement theory about things moving over time, and the Serbian, the evidence that Serbia was once tropical and parts of Antarctica were tropical. I think that there's a lot of evidence that there have been minor changes in the poles and minor moves that aren't as dramatic as an entire reversal, but also I think people are starting to study this more closely, and I think the pyramids could be involved in that. I don't know. I think as far as I'm concerned, I think the pyramids are an excellent idea or example of a power plant. And I sound crazy when I say that, but I'm going to do a really good comprehensive video on this in the future. Anyway, yeah, I'm seeing comments here. Lisa Love says the reason you're itchy is because you are having a reaction to taking too much niacin. Possibly. It's only 500 milligrams. And for those that say it's stupid that I believe that the pyramids are power plants, they actually to this day, and Harvard and Oxford and phys.org all agree through their own studies that it does indeed concentrate electromagnetic energy. And who built a gigantic pyramid like that over 65 years with millions of blocks that are ridiculously heavy and put into place in some parts of jigsaw precision throughout the place? And you look at the Grand Gallery, for example, holding up the weight of the entire pyramid within. And it's totally a functional design designed to pi and phi, phi being 1 + 1 = 2, 1 + 2 = 3, 2 + 3 = 5, and so on and so forth. 3 + 5 = 8. I mean, it just, one by one, and then the latter two on top of each other, et cetera, to make the answer. And so I think with the combination of all that, and then considering the fact that it does indeed, actually concentrate electromagnetic energy, I'll bring up the phys.org study right now for those that think I'm being ridiculous. Here, I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. Here we go. Study reveals the Great Pyramid of Giza can focus electromagnetic energy. An international research group has applied methods of theoretical physics to investigate the electromagnetic response of the Great Pyramid to radio waves. Scientists predicted that under resonance conditions, the pyramid can concentrate electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and under the base. The research group plans to use these theoretical results to design nanoparticles capable of reproducing similar effects in the optical range, such as nanoparticles may be used, for example, to develop sensors and highly efficient solar cells. The study was published in the Journal of Applied Physics, and it's funny how the pyramids are still, influencing people to do these kinds of things. Of course, Tesla used the Great Pyramid as a ground plan for his Tesla tower, and also on top of that, let's also not forget that what happens when you can resonate frequency and vibrational frequencies through chambers via the use of water. And water went into the subterranean chambers of the Great Pyramid underneath, coming from the Nile, which used to run alongside of it. There's all sorts of tunnels that are completely functional and have no actual use as waterways or anything like that water flow throughout the Giza Plateau. And you have that water go underneath into the subterranean chambers that would then resonate up this funnel, like tube system, up to the Grand Gallery and up through to the King's Chamber. And you think they're going to build that entire structure and then forget to do the decorations within a tomb. Like, they say it's a tomb. They never found a mummy in it, by the way. And you think that they're going to actually build this massive structure and take that long and be like, never mind. The most important part of this religious ceremony of painting the walls of the tomb, we're just not going to bother with that. We're not going to carve anything into the walls. We're not going to do any of that every other tomb in Egypt has. We're just going to like forget about that after putting all that effort into the Great Pyramid. It is absurd. So again, I think it's really important to make people aware that there's actually a man who went up on top of the Great Pyramid with a guide years ago, and he raised a wine bottle that he had closed or sealed with a cloth upwards on top of the Great Pyramid, and it was one of the top what do you call it? One of the top physicists or something in the world at the time. I have to refresh myself on the study that I read a little while ago, and it was in the late 1800s, and it burst into flames. The cloth burst into flames, and what happened was the guide thought he was using black magic, and of course what happened, it was the electromagnetic energy being risen up through still to this day through the limestone and granite perfectly shielding. Limestone, superconductive granite, it conceals conduction, and then a gold at the top would concentrate electromagnetic energy as it does today in phones and laptops, etc. So you have all this energy rising up, and then this thing bursts into flames on the top when he holds it up, and the guide thought he was practicing black magic and went to attack him and stop him, and when he touched him, he was shot backwards by an electric shock. This can still be demonstrated to this day and in cloud chambers and etc. But you can still go to the Great Pyramids and test this today, and it has been tested, and people have tested the fact that the amount of magnetic energy at the very top of the pyramid is astonishing, even though most of the pyramid has been destroyed by earthquakes and the ravages of time itself. So this isn't crazy conspiracy theory. This is all fact. This is an example of what the pyramids could still be used for in a certain sense, and they seem very functional from inside. And most scientists were behind that idea for a very long time until the recent textbooks in recent ages have basically deep-sixed any continued study of these ideas. And of course, there was an inert substance and chamber found in the Great Pyramid recently that no one's really willing to look into. Thanks, academics. Night Angel Marine sent $5. Can we continue our conversation about the Great Dumbing? Absolutely. Send in your question. I am 2 hours into this, and I'm a little bit flushed, to say the least, from this niacin. And it's absolutely crazy. And my legs are feeling weird, and I feel weird in general. So, yeah, there's that. Really appreciate all the super chats, guys. That really means a lot to me. I really, 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 truly, truly, truly appreciate that. It's literally the only thing that's keeping us alive right now. But anyway, one thing you're missing, Monopoly Money, is, regarding saying the Bible is a series of stories written by man, is that the idea that basically every ancient civilization in the world had the exact same stories all at the same time, and then you actually pin that to the ancient stories of the Olmecs, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Indians, the Chinese. You put all that together, and you realize that the stories of the Bible are not false. The Noah's Ark, I 100% believe it. It's too perfect to be matched. It matches up with every other story of a great flood, and at the same time, there's over 500. There's over 500 great flood stories in the world, and of 86 that were studied, 62 were considered to be 100% apart from each other with no connection. And when you have these stories all combined, and then you combine it with the fact that we know there's a great flood around 12,500, and that's Zep Tepe, as they call it, the first time among the ancient Egyptians, and it fits perfectly into Noah's age going back to the time of Noah, and it fits perfectly into the epics of Gilgamesh, and it fits perfectly into the theory or the so-called myth of Atlantis. It fits perfectly into the time frame that the Olmecs gave. then you have to wonder how much of this is coincidence at this point. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to believe that that's coincidence. We know these floods ravaged, and it's interesting, Noah landing on Mount Ararat. The fact that we now have evidence of great flooding in the region, maybe not to the top of Mount Ararat, but up to Mount Ararat, and we also have this these sites like Göbekli Tepe and Derinkuyu in the region, like within a 3 days walk from Mount Ararat, and now the Karahan Tepe, which is just being excavated now, which I should be going to soon. I've been calling for it to be excavated forever, and it finally just started getting excavated a couple days ago, and sure enough, it's a new Göbekli Tepe, guys, and no one's talking about it. So expect me to go to the scene soon in Turkey, assuming I'm able to get all my equipment in and go to the site and help them with their tourist industry. But anyway, we see things like, for example, and I'm not here to argue religion, but I'm here to talk about historical facts that are too convenient. Like we got all these things handing down of information by the gods in a historical game of telephone, if you will, where we all have the same information, but it slightly differs, ever so slightly, and you tend to realize that after a while, these are the same stories. Donna Daily fossils, proof of the flood. I saw fossils, I saw seashells all over Mauritania, 300 miles inland in the Sahara Desert, which are not fossils. They are actually recent enough to not be fossilized, which means that they have been made within the last 60,000 years. The seashells in the beaches of North Carolina, some have been dated 48,000 years old. By the way, I have to thank the new super chats here. Night Angel Marine says, so please explain to me exactly, if you will, how did we lose all this technology from long ago? I'll get to that in a moment. DT, Canadian $5 in the super chat. Please make a short video about the inconsistencies on the histories of the pyramids. It could very well go viral, I would hope, but even my journey to the reshot structure didn't go viral, so it's hard to tell nowadays. Nothing goes viral on my channel. But truth is blind. You say gods. I mean, there is a god, but people see it from a different angle, from different sides of the world, so they considered multiple gods, etc. I'm not sure about that. I'm just going by what the scriptures say. I'm not a fan of the Catholic Church, for those wondering. I was just at the Vatican, and that's some creepy stuff going on. But again, I'm not getting into the religious argument. I'm just going by the fact that I believe that what the Bible says is true. I believe that what the Bible said is accurate, because we've, over time, actually been able to scientifically prove the events. And over time, all these places that were thought to be mythical have been found. And look at what's happening with the city of Troy right now. It was once mythical, and now it's being considered even older than the oldest civilization in history, which is setting back textbooks as the more they dig deep into the ground there. And all these things are starting to come true and be proven true to the public. So I think that's very important to note. But anyway, I'll get further into it in a moment. But Göbekli Tepe is technically an ark. They have Noah sacrificed animals upon the ark. You have this arc, this historical arc of this record system matched to Orion's belt and the Cygnus constellation as well, in Turkey, right by Mount Ararat, where Noah's ark was supposed to land. And what you have also is animal bones all around Göbekli Tepe, sacrifice, as well as you have animals from all over the world carved into the rock of Göbekli Tepe alongside the constellations. I think that it says a lot about, that site is maybe almost a place of historical record. But anyway, I've got these super chats I want to make sure to get to here. Jordan Deo says, what is this channel? It's a channel that talks about all sorts of different things. And right now I'm doing a niacin flush and taking questions from the audience. He says, I'm so confused. I'm just answering questions. So if you tuned in late, then you're kind of just getting in on it. Well, it's kind of out of context, isn't it? It sounds kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm talking about ancient civilizations and the combinations of all the ancient civilizations in the world having the same epoch stories, all conveniently around the same period that we now know as the Younger Dryas period, which connects to the Great Flood, because there was a Great Flood, which has lately been proven to be the case. Anyway, So Night Angel Marine, who sent the $5 super chat, says, "So please explain to me exactly, if you will, how did we lose all the technology from long ago?" Well, when you, for example, people talk about examples like plasma bursts. I am more in line with the idea of a massive meteor. The Taurid meteor stream, which we pass through about twice a year, would be the most likely culprit. We go through this stream often, and it's basically like dodging bullets every time. Though obviously they're far apart. Logically, they're also very big. There's pieces that are many kilometers in size that we pass through every single year, twice a year. And one of these days, they could very well hit us. And a lot of the comets, they don't have tails until they start to get melted and burned apart by the sun. So we don't actually see them coming. They don't have a big lit up tail, right? They're just blackness. You don't see them in space. So eventually, like you catch them at the last moment, and they could do a lot of damage, obviously. But anyway, we do know that a massive asteroid hit Greenland by the Hiawatha crater around around 10,000, between 12,000 and 9,000 BC. It's likely to fit right into the historical Younger Dryas period, where suddenly we saw the weather fluctuation. We saw the Ice Age end and then suddenly begin again dramatically fast. And we also saw a lot of animals frozen, like flash frozen, in moments, like mammoths with food still in their mouth, frozen in ice and like not even chewed. Crazy. Anyway, so right around this time, you can imagine you have all this so-called myth, and I'm going to go into it better in a video. I'm going to do an update on the reshot structure soon, and the whole idea of Atlantis. I was taking notes while I was on the plane recently, because you got to make use of things, but talking about like the Edfu building text. The ancient Egyptians, long before Plato talked about Atlantis, talked about a circular island structure that was destroyed, that had high technology and destroyed by a great flood, and that the information was passed on down the Nile to people. And you see the same story in Noah's Ark. You know, he gets warned by God of this coming flood, and saves as many animals as he can, the seeds and all that kind of stuff. And I believe alongside those seeds, you can easily translate that to mean ideas and things and etc. And he, by the way, his son, well, he was said to settle around the area of Lebanon afterwards, where Baalbek is now. Of course, Baalbek is based on the god Baal and everything, the name, and has some of the greatest megaliths in the world. But right around Mount Ararat, where he landed, you have Göbekli Tepe and all these amazing places that date back to about 9600 BC, right around the time of the end of the Younger Dryas period, almost perfectly, while the Egyptian first time, where all the gods with all their knowledge passing down to the new generations, came about around 10,450 or 550 BC. Which is exactly when this flood happened, and exactly the time frame that Atlantis would have gone down, based on Plato bringing information from his ancestor Solon, who got it from Sais in Egypt. And now we see the Edfu building texts that also basically say the exact same story as Atlantis. And then also on top of that, you have Utnapishtim and Gilgamesh and all that kind of stuff, which perfectly aligns with that time frame as well, of about 10,450 BC. So when all these things come together, and we know that that flood happened, and you also go back in Olmec history and it does the same thing, it tells you the same thing, then you have to believe after a while that we aren't dealing with a coincidence anymore. We're dealing with an incredible historical matter of great importance that people are just passing over. And I think it has a lot to do with people are uncomfortable with that which they do not understand, and so they run away from it as fast as they can. Let's see. I'm seeing some weird comments here. Beadbong says, thinking you're going to change a system full of pedophiles and built to manipulate you through fear and the idea of lesser of two evils, you're a weaker person than you realize. It's not myself that's going to change. I don't know if you're actually talking to me, but it's not myself that is going to change it. It's all of us that are going to change it through information and influence. And that influence also influences the markets, and the markets help create new marvels that replace the state. And over time, you watch these little things disappear into the horizon, into the sunset, and you've got a whole new evolution on your hands. Not a revolution, but an evolution. I think those are the only ways that you can get around this vast system of control and, you know, these disgusting pedophiles that run so many parts of society that we see. Of course, Epstein's out of the news, by the way. Another thing to point out. But I don't want to, you know, mess up what I'm trying to say too much. I don't want to get all over the place here. I want to stay on topic here. Bead Bong says, I wasn't talking to you, Josh. Come on, that much should be evident. I don't know. I'm not looking at the whole chat, so I apologize if I was incorrect there. I just see a whole bunch of comments there, so I'm not sure. Anyway, so getting back to that, where did the technology go, or how was this? How did we lose all this technology? Well, metal from before 12,000 BC, especially after the great floods that we know have happened, and half the Earth being ravaged by fire at one point in that time frame, we know that almost all metal would have turned to dust and rust and, you know, mineral at this point. We know that plastics, you'd have to assume that they use the same chemical plastics than us, and there's no evidence of that. I mean, they could have been using, you know, hemp-based plastics, any kind of plastic whatsoever, or if they even felt the need to do that. Though, with that said, the type of technology is very much questioned. We could be talking about like 19th century technology, just being able to sail the world and stuff like that, but not necessarily anything crazy. But they might have developed different kinds of technology that we haven't developed yet, or that we know of, using magnetics or frequency. And there's a lot of people that have been backing that up for a long time. So there's that as well. That's part of that technology. But over time, what would you have left? You would have rock. That's all you have left. And then you look back and you go, oh, well, those people sure were primitive. I mean, they built this stone structure that we still can build to this day, but they don't have metal, so they must have been stupid Stone Age people. It's like, it's so frustrating. The technology would have been destroyed by a great cataclysm, and that's what the Egyptians said. That's what every major religion in the world says. Again, there's over 600 great flood stories from around the world that we know of. And going back to that epoch where these gods passed down hidden knowledge. So, anyway. Might as well get to DT's question. Again, thank you so much for those super chats. Really, 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 truly appreciate it. Let's see. They said, please make a short video about the inconsistencies on the history of the pyramids. It could go very well viral. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to do that. And I'm working on a lot right now. I'm working on an updated video on the reshot structure. Apparently so is Bright Insight, Jimmy at Bright Insight, who I've been in contact with off and on, you know, here and there. And I'm also going back to Mauritania next year, because I'm not convinced one way or another, but I have found recent information that actually does make me think twice about some of the things I said in my documentary, and I want to update people on what I think on that. Also, to the person who just keeps on going on and on about Bernie Sanders, enjoy your slave master, dude, but I don't have to buy into your perpetual system of collectivism and that cult of bowing down to a leader to save me from other leaders that are all part of the same cartel. I do not believe in organized crime. I do not believe in government. I do not believe in collectivism. I believe in individuals and self-governance systems and people deciding their own fate. I don't believe in stealing 90% of people's money. I don't believe in, creating perpetual problem reaction solution, extorting, creating worse problems for corporations or businesses for that matter, because of course what happens is that they regulate and tax the big corporations. They say they're taking down the big corporations, but what it actually does is it allows them to automate, lay off people, and then at the same time, these same regulations and taxes push a small business out of the market, pushing out the monopolies further and making people poorer. And the issue is inflation and the vast printing of currency. And ask Ron Paul, and I've talked with Ron Paul about this personally. Bernie Sanders totally destroyed his audit the Fed bill. So anyway. XenaGirl29 sent $19.99 in the super chat. Thank you so much. XenaGirl29 is seriously one of the most passionate people out there as far as helping us stay alive here. Can't thank you enough. So awesome to see that. Those super chats make it all the more makes me all the more able to actually bring you this content on a regular basis. Truly awesome person. And all of you guys that have sent super chats, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Only way we're doing this. Let's see. Chad Meyer says, ask Jimmy about Ben Davidson. That's where I've been learning about this stuff. Absolutely. I'll definitely do that. Let's see. We got... no one needs a Bernie Sanders, says Chad Myers. I agree. No one needs politicians. No one needs leaders other than themselves. People need to answer to themselves. People need to make their own decisions in life. People have to stop looking for a way for that paradigm to fix that paradigm. It's like, oh, well, the government created all these problems, so we need the government to fix it because, we need to end corruption in government. But the very idea of government is corruption in the first place. It's this idea that 51% controls the 49% and that you can control people's lives by stealing people's money because you think good ideas require force, and that idea is so good that your idea is so good and that you're so smart that you can enforce your will on the masses by extorting people for their money. And they're like, oh, well, now the guns of the state say you have to listen to my idea. It's ridiculous. And it's such a primitive belief system that's been going on since ancient Greece. And ever since ancient Greece, every campaign is based on change. Well, I think the change isn't the person in the seat of power. It's the seat of power that needs to be changed or abolished. Night Angel Marine sent $10 in the super chat. Thank you so much. Awesome. Says, I agree with you completely. There have been many cataclysmic events in our history, but none of it suggests how we forgot the ability to pass on tech. One survived, right? They had children, yes. Yeah, Noah had children as well that apparently passed down a bunch of information, and as it's spoken of in scriptures. And, on top of that, what happens is you have these records slowly, wars ravage places, records get destroyed, religions, crazy satanic religions take over, as we've seen in many of these places over the centuries. And they destroy all the information. The Spanish destroyed almost everything that the Olmecs had as far as records go, and the Mayans claimed that they used that technology. They used the Olmecs technology. So, there goes a bunch of stuff right there. And again, the Sumerian Empire was completely wiped out. So much of the information was wiped out. Library of Alexandria was burned to the ground. Everything got a lot more primitive after the burning of the Library of Alexandria. And again, as it's passed down over time, people start to forget the language. And this is actually spoken of in a lot of scriptures, is that after a while, people couldn't understand each other anymore. People couldn't understand the ideas. And actually, there's something I wrote down while on the plane, and it's an interesting thing. Let's see. I wanted to. Okay, so in the Edfu texts in Egypt, talking about what Plato called Atlantis, they say the resurrection of the former world of the gods, the recreation of a destroyed world. Let's see. I want to get to something they note here. Passed on knowledge of all things. 7 sages of Edfu passed on knowledge of all things to Thoth, the wisdom god, to write down. He was just passing on the information of architecture and knowledge of a lost ancient civilization from the magicians of the gods, the 7 sages, and talking about nothing new would be invented, only recreated from the knowledge of the ancients. This is exactly similar to the writing of the ancient antediluvians of Mesopotamia, blah, blah, blah. So basically the idea is that no one created anything new. It was just recreating what was already invented, and the 7 sages passed it down to Thoth and spread it out throughout the Nile, and these people were deified over time. Anyway, get to hear my nerdiness. Monopoly Money says, Josh Sigurdson 2020. If I ever run for office, shoot me in the head. Giving you permission now. I get the joke, but yeah, let's see. Chad Myers, volunteerism, absolutely. Beadbog, Josh, make sure you sea salt in that water. Yeah, well, I also have with me Pedialyte, magnesium, potassium, something you don't find enough of in Europe, by the way, with the crazy hot weather in the summer, but it's a lifesaver. Saved me from many heat strokes. Brian Jones says, what hair gel do you use? Your hair game is on point. Yeah, Axe. It's easy. It doesn't leave residue. It's good. And they don't sell it in Europe. Another reason I can't move there, I guess. Though it's so cheap in so much of Spain, I so badly. I've been thinking about it. Like, man, I could save so much money if I lived in Spain. But all my interviews would have to be like early morning or late night because everyone's in the U.S. or Canada. Let's see. John Wood, no gel, only wax. It's gel. Patrick Albertini, when the gold to silver ratio drops, should people trade in their silver for gold to keep it, or keep it? I think it's good to just ensure your wealth and hold it. It's a telltale sign of a major recession, and you know what happens in recessions with gold and silver, and how good that is for the price action. Again, I don't use it as a investment. I'm not giving anyone investment advice here. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I would hold on to it. Silver is insanely undervalued right now, more so than gold even, and it's been hugely manipulated by paper contracts as well. Anyway, Be Rational says gold, silver, water filtration, food, self-defense, all we can do. Yeah, responsibility number one though. Just be able to take care of yourself, be independent, and stop being a slave like a certain somebody who was writing this chat for quite too long about how we all need to worship Lord and Savior Bernie Sanders. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Invest your intention in cryptocurrency, to be honest. I would say that we should be diversifying as much as possible monopoly money. Just my opinion, I think we should be looking at a few different options because it's harder to spend gold and silver in a recession in a digital age. Things have changed since the Great Depression, and you're less likely to be shaving off pieces of gold and putting on a scale to buy things than you are just scanning a QR code with a Bitcoin wallet or a Litecoin or whatever it might be. I saw someone earlier say they sent some Litecoin to me. I totally missed that. I apologize for not shouting you out on the live chat. Thank you so much for the Litecoin earlier. I think I saw 0.1 come in. Thank you so much. Again, there's those options below. It really means a lot to us. Night Angel Marine sent another $5. Again, I agree. Thank you so much. That really, you're helping us out a lot here today. And I have seen your pledges elsewhere, so thank you so much. Again, I agree religion is very destructive, yet despite this, our progression marches on. So please give me the definitive example that we've lost tech. Now, I wouldn't say that religion is generally, that is namely the destructive force. I mean, nature is a destructive force, but I mean, as far as religion goes, the problem isn't the religion, it's the power and it's the force that's used. I think that is the best way to look at it. I don't agree with people like Mark Passio when they say religion's a problem. Religion isn't the problem. Religion has done a lot of good throughout mankind. It's bad people using force against others that have given a bad image to different religions. And again, they use fear, and fear is a great way to put people on their knees. We see that with the fear mongering around people that people don't quite understand. And Christianity, by the way, is the most persecuted religion on the planet. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing more persecuted on this planet than Christianity right now. People always say that, Christianity is running the world and all that. That's nonsense. The Vatican, for one, is not Christian. Second, some of the biggest totalitarian empires killed people for having religions. Stalin, Mao, etc. Like this notion that you had to be an atheist or you had to be killed because the government becomes a religion, and that's something that they're trying to move people towards. But with that said, anyway, back to the question about technology. I think this is important as far as how we lost that tech. When you have a massive cataclysm and you wipe people out and push people into the bushes, and you only have a few people spreading the knowledge after a certain point that have been forced into hunter-gatherer communities, because that's of course where you're going to go if you're going to end up in a situation where everything that you thought you knew was gone. I mean, you become dependent after you get used to the technology, and then you become weak when it comes to survival instincts, and then you go to the hunter-gatherer communities because those are the ones, and they always live among, there's still hunter-gatherers today. You live among them for a long period of time. You try to pass down the information. You still have some of that technology left, and over time, it slowly dwindles away. But a big part of the question, the mystery that we've been trying to find out anyway, is how you go from the pyramid to piles of rubble, and how you go from great technology to nothing and then to the pyramids, and whether the pyramids are as old as they say they are, because some of the part of the pyramid and the chambers align to Orion, etc., in the year 10,450 BC, as well as 2,500 BC. So there's a cross between the processions, and you see the same with the Sphinx, which we know by looking at the stone and looking at the water erosion, the geology of it it faces Leo, the lion, its counterpart, in the year 10,450 BC. Again, the first time Zep Tepe among the Egyptians, and interestingly fits perfectly into Noah's Ark, fits perfectly into Atlantis, fits perfectly into the Epics of Gilgamesh, etc., etc., etc. So, and then it kind of fits perfectly into the Younger Dryas hits, and then you end up with Göbekli Tepe immediately following it. So, it's just too perfect after a while. But how we lost that technology, that's still one of the things that we're trying to figure out. But I think there's a lot of things that aim us in the right direction. I mean, we don't have the definitive answers of how it happened yet, and that's part of the journey, is finding out. I think it's really important. But we do know that there's evidence of that technology, and then a sudden loss in that technology, and then a sudden gain in that technology years later, and then a sudden loss again. And now we have pencil skyscrapers in New York, and they look stupid. And we can't make the pyramids today. So I think that there's a lot of mystery still surrounding the notion, or where the pyramid, or how the pyramids were built, where the technology went, how old are they really. There's two counteracting pieces of evidence, and of course thermoluminescent dating has been done on the Pyramid of Menkaure, the smallest of the three major Great Pyramids, and it shows that it could have, in some cases, and this is just the casing stones, and repairs are known to have happened, go back, and it dates sunlight exposure, by the way, which can easily be set to 0 after a moment of sunlight touching it. Dates back at its latest as far as 4,000 BC, which goes way before, 1,500 years before it was said to have been built. So that says a lot. That says a lot about it. Mrs. B. Stacy says, eat apple or applesauce before to reduce the flush. Yeah, but it wouldn't be as fun for the viewers if I reduce the flush. I had to have a little bit of pain. My legs are still kind of feeling weird. Anyway, so where that lost technology goes, I can imagine a massive cataclysm wiping out most of that technology, wiping out most land, wiping out most buildings, most structures. Certainly wiped out the reshot structure. And, you have these stories from every religion in the world of the passing down of that information, whether through Turkey or ancient Armenia to, for example, through Lebanon, through the Nile, down the Nile. And it always seems those are the places where the most interesting, megalithic works seem to be. So I can't exactly answer your question to a key because I wasn't there and I don't know. But I do know that there's a lot of things that point towards this technology being just passed down by a few people and slowly forgotten as time went on, as people burned and destroyed all evidence of the past. And, there's certain secret societies as well that hold a lot of information on this stuff. I'm pretty sure there are people within the Masons that know a lot about this that we don't yet know, and that they're probably holding. The Vatican certainly is holding a lot of information in their vaults. And on top of that, Saudi Arabia, Israel, man, you name it. Saudi Arabia just admitted that they had these crazy, huge, massive structures throughout the region that they had never told anyone about. Let me just Saudi Arabia ancient ruins. I want to bring this up for you because it wasn't very well known until recently. So I'm going to put it on the screen for you. It's pretty crazy looking stuff. I know this live stream has been going on for a long time, but anyway, like, look at that. Is that not crazy? I mean, there's a few examples of them, but how many of you have actually seen this before? I mean, I'm sure people watch Jimmy from Bright Insight, but most people have not ever heard of this place. This is in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia. Not a place I'm planning on going anytime soon. But, hey, you'll have to settle for I'm going to Turkey and I'm going to Iraq, hopefully, in the next year. But just incredible looking sights. Unbelievable. So, you got to wonder why. Why do this? Why would anyone build this? Anyway, most people have never seen this site before, and I just thought it'd be interesting to show everyone quickly. But yeah, where that technology went, I don't know. I just think that there's evidence that a lot of ancient technology has been destroyed. Yeah, there's evidence of it existing, and then evidence of it suddenly not existing. There's evidence of Great Cataclysm and the mythology that surrounds the Great Cataclysm. And so there's definitely a blind spot. There's definitely a gap in years where, you jump from assuming, I don't believe it, but assuming that they are right when they say that 3000 BC was the beginning of the human civilization, which they're totally wrong on, by the way. It's a stupid number they've stuck to for years. You do have to wonder what happened between Göbekli Tepe and then. What happened between Göbekli Tepe and Troy and Stonehenge, and then the pyramids, and then suddenly knowing how to build all this stuff, and then boom, they forgot everything again, and back to piling up rubble. I think it's close to the Dashkur pyramids that you see. It's just piles of stone rubble nonsense. How do you mess that up so much? How do you start with the greatest structures and end with the worst structures? It's ridiculous. Night Angel Marine sent another $5. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. You are a very wise young man. I appreciate your work / videos. I'm surprised how much you know. Refreshed by your thoughts. Please let me know if I can help. I really appreciate that. All we can do right now is ask for pledges and donations, and I know you're already doing that, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You are helping us a lot. But as far as that goes, I mean, like, I'm kind of a cluster, when it comes to explaining this live. That's why I usually like to write a long script, which I try so hard to get precise words together, sentences together, and kind of a pattern that goes towards what my bottom line is, and then deliver it in the best possible video I can. Because when I go live, I just have all these ideas about ancient civilizations that just blow up in my head, and then I'm all over the place. Talk to people that were at Anarchadelphia this year, where I was just at in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was talking with people, and I was just like all over the charts, going crazy, and I probably gave quite a few people an earful. But I garnered an audience for a little while on this subject because people are very interested in this. I mean, who isn't at least a little bit interested in the origins of human civilization, the Great Pyramids and stuff? It's incredible subject matter. Hijinks said, too cool. I've never seen or heard of it. Yeah, I mean, that site in Saudi Arabia is absolutely crazy, and very few have ever seen it. It also looks a lot like, it reminds me of Petra in Jordan for sure, too. Chad Meyer says that geomagnetic reversal is why that area of the globe is so important. So much landmass that we can actually survive. Yeah, well, and also there's evidence lately that the Sahara Desert was actually just a jungle as far back as only 6000 BC and just suddenly changed over a decade into a desert, and that there were lakes that were dividing parts of the continent of Africa into a bunch of pieces that go right alongside Mauritania, and I think they're not even fully there yet because there's evidence that water flowed all the way through that region. Anyway, I got a report coming up on that. I've got so many notes, it's ridiculous on all of that. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to bringing that all to you. And again, for those that aren't yet aware, for those that are just tuning in anyway, make sure to join us on Subscribestar where we do subscriber-only content. Let me just see if has anyone else subscribed since the last time I checked. No. So help us out here. It's how we stay alive. We are getting destroyed. They're deleting our subscribers and our videos, and we'll probably be gone from YouTube in the next little while. And you guys are the only things keeping us alive. So let's see, 517 followers on Float to 522. I see some of you guys got accounts. Thank you very much. Make sure to join float.app, FLOTE.app. I really appreciate anything you guys can do to help us out in any way. And also that includes moving to these alternative platforms where we can actually be seen once we're inevitably deleted off of YouTube, which we will probably be in the next 1.5 to 2 years. It's moving fast, folks, and we want to tell you to go to these places before it's too late, because then we won't be able to reach you once we're just deleted off of YouTube. So we got to go up about 100 times more on Float in viewership in the next little while to catch up a bit. But I really hope you do join us there, and it's really important that you do. And then we are also on BitChute. Let's see. Last time I checked, we had 6 new subscribers from 320 to 326. Let me refresh this and see what's happened. No one else has subscribed on our BitChute since I last mentioned it about 45 minutes ago. Well, I guess we got to do something about that, don't we? We got to get on BitChute and press subscribe on our channel. It's the best way that we will spread our message to people once we're deleted off of YouTube inevitably. And again, float.app, FLOTE.app. I'm at Josh Sigurdson and at Wham. It's like the easiest website to ever sign up for. And they're replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit. They are being used as a Patreon alternative as well, where you can send crypto. I got $12.22 in crypto on there so far, so help me out any way you can. And of course, we are also on Patreon. I was looking at memories earlier of different things I've done in the past and how happy I was in 2017 looking into 2018, talking about how we were about to, 2018 was a year that independent media took over, and it kind of was, and that's why we're suffering so much in 2019. And we need you guys more than ever. More than ever, we need you people, all of you, to help us in any way you can. Or else we're just going to be gone from YouTube. You'll never see us again. I see I got one new Patreon. Thank you so much. I saw a notification. Yaz is a new $1 patron. Thank you so much, Yaz. I really appreciate it. That's all it takes. $1 single a month. $1 single a month to keep us alive. There's really no excuses as far as do you want a world where in a year from now all you have is Fox News, CNN, BBC, CBC, whatever it might be? Don't you want to be able to actually, have free information at your fingertips that counters the alternative viewpoint? I mean, it's more important than ever. We're walking into the climax of the monetary system and walking into wars left and right. Now is the time, folks. Now is the time to help. It's not just myself, Press for Truth, We Are Change, all these other guys too. Now or never, because we are done. Seriously, if you guys can't help us now. And Forward Fisher from News to Share, I can't forget him. And of course, Carrie Wedler, my friend and another person I like to make fun of. And she's fun. We also have GoFundMe. And no, I did not make $11,926 recently. That's over 5 years. GoFundMe recently took out the part that says how long this thing has been up next to the number. It says down here June 12th, 2015. But it's been almost 5 years. And coming up on 5 years, we started this GoFundMe. So split that $11,926 over 5 years, and that's what we got. So no, we aren't rich. I wish. I do wish. We could do so much in destroying mainstream media if we had a few more dollars to our name, and especially if we were able to actually survive, because I work 18 hours a day to bring you guys videos for free. So it really helps. I see another like on one of my posts here. And that's a cool thing about float.app is that we are actually able to reach people. We are actually able to reach people, and it's a beautiful thing. Because I post on Facebook, and I reach barely anyone out of 8,500 people, and then I post the same post on Float, and I do post a lot on Float that I don't post on Facebook, but anyway, I get way more likes and comments on Float than I do on Facebook, because Facebook completely shadow bans me. They're also a great Twitter alternative, etc. And they're not worried about the competition. They give us the option to check out my Twitter on here, my Patreon, Facebook, Minds, DTube, Subscribestar, STEEMIT, which I'm locked out of right now, so don't even bother, and my YouTube. So, yeah, there's lots of options, guys, and it comes down to you guys being the change you wish to see and bringing us, that money, those super chats, all that keeps us on our feet so that we can continue to do this well into the future. And I couldn't thank you enough. Hijinks says, is BitChute same channel name? Yes, it is. And of course, YouTube censors anything about BitChute, so I can't really tell people to go there as much as I'd like to, other than on live streams, because it has the word bitch in it. So you can only imagine. Anyway. Night Angel Marine sent another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You are the hero of the chat. I don't think anyone can beat you now. More than that, though, I'd love to know where all the ancient wonders of the world went. Yeah, well, I mean, Jimmy from Bright Insight did do a video recently that I found really interesting regarding where some of these places might have gone, and I think a lot could be said about being under the sands of the Sahara Desert. I mean, how much of the Sahara Desert is covering ancient megalithic structures? I mean, it's just basically a cover. And on top of that, it allows you to date the structures much better, too, because they've got the cover of from the sun and from elements in a lot of ways. Another reason why I call it the Sphinx, because, the least weathered part of it is a head, which is clearly whittled down from the original, which shows that it's newer and repaired in dynastic times, which debunks the idea that the body was built around the same time, because it's the most weathered, but has water erosion and has been under sand for most of its existence. So how does it get more weathered with water erosion and everything than the head does, sticking out of the sand for an eternity, for thousands of years? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I've been thinking about the Garden of Eden, evidence of it being in essentially, and there's a lot in Turkey, but I think there's a lot of debate over whether the Garden of Eden is what we think it is, and regarding the Gnostic Christian belief system. I don't know. I'm going to try and get into as much of that as possible in the near future. I'm heading to Turkey in a few days. This is another reason why I'm doing these niacin flushes and stuff, because my health is not very good after all the traveling I've been doing. XenaGirl29 just sent $99.99. Wow. That is seriously heroic. Thank you so much, XenaGirl29. You have done so much to help us. I don't think I've had a chance to really connect and talk with you yet, but you keep sending these pledges or these donations in, and it makes a world of difference, and I thank you so much for that. It's made it possible for us to survive and thrive over the past little while, and it gives me hope that we have people like yourself that are willing to do something like that for us in independent media and keep us up and running, because a lot of the time I wonder why I bother. A lot of the time I question my own logic in continuously doing this on a regular basis, because sometimes it just feels like most people don't care. And then I see stuff like that coming from you, and then of course what Night Angel Marine has been doing, and all these other great people that have been sending in these super chats, and it's just an amazing thing to see, and it inspires me so much. It really truly does inspire me so much. So I couldn't thank you enough for that. It makes a world of difference and keeps us from having to close our channel and me go to McDonald's to work a terrible job and not be able to work all day every day, bringing you guys new information on the regular that keeps you guys aware of the latest news that's hitting us with all these different alternative viewpoints, from history to money, from politics to apolitics to culture to just everyday news events. And I want to provide that for free to people, right? And I don't want to do it on just a subscriber basis. And these donations are what keep us being able to do that, and countering the mainstream narrative, which is just absolutely destructive and indoctrination driven, and all about trying to push people into weakness, servitude, dependence, and all the things that come with trying to destroy individual freedom. DT sent Canadian $19.90. Keep up the great work. Much appreciated. I really like those live streams. Maybe offer some sort of behind the scenes videos for your donors. I absolutely, yeah, totally. And thank you so much. Thank you again. $20 that, again, it's helped so much. I'm really loving it. I can't believe 2 hours and 48 minutes in. Now we're just suddenly, they're coming in, and it's so inspiring. Thank you so much. Really, it's amazing. I want to do more behind the scenes videos, and I got some videos from around Europe that I want to also post on our Subscribestar for subscriber onlys and donors. DT, send me an email at worldalternativemedia@gmail.com. Same with you, XenaGirl29, and of course Night Angel Marine. Send me your email, and I'll contact you, and it will be good to send you guys some behind the scenes content, the stuff that I'm posting, because if you're giving me this much already, I mean, I'm definitely down to give you some cool behind the scenes stuff that I would be posting on Subscribestar anyway to donors. So again, I really, really appreciate that, and thank you so much. Incredible 8me sent Australian $2 peace sign, cool sunglasses dude emoticon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Again, $2, $1, $5, $20, $99.99, as XenaGirl29 did, makes a world of difference for us, and really, truly awesome. DT says, start a vlog channel. They make lots of money. Yeah, I got a vlog channel called Josh Sigurdson that you could subscribe to on YouTube. Let me bring that up. I'm always worried about opening up another YouTube window while I'm live streaming, but I'm gonna try and do that. Just one moment, and hopefully this doesn't mess up the live stream. Let me just pull it up for you. I got another channel called Josh Sigurdson, and maybe YouTube will actually let me see the channel there. Yep, I only have 62 subscribers, so you can find some silly stuff on there too. It's not exactly the most professional stuff, and I haven't posted that much in the last while, but I got a lot that I want to post. So this is it. We are here at Josh Sigurdson, 62 subscribers. I got a video with Del Bigtree that I definitely couldn't put up on Wham, or else I get in a lot of trouble. Just little things like sheet lightning, not that interesting. Then they got Jeff Berwick performing Bitcoin all the way up with the free knots live in Acapulco in 2018. A tutorial on how to exchange SBD for Bitcoin on STEEMIT. Traffic in Winnipeg, Canada, following the government causing problems. Anyway, as you see, I have like a playlist just called Screwing Around, as I should, and then videos with John and I from years ago that are just dumb, and I don't encourage anyone to watch them because they're embarrassing. Anyway, now everyone's going to watch them. So so if you want, subscribe to Josh Sigurdson on YouTube, and I do have a vlog channel. I want to get back to that more. I'm thinking of changing the name to like Wham Travels or something like that, because I feel like there's a lot on the ground video I videotape everything when I'm on trips, and there's a lot that I could be bringing you guys. I see one of you guys subscribed since 63 subscribers. Thank you very much. There's a lot that I would like to be bringing you guys, but it's just not something I would put on, Wham, right? It's just kind of weird to be posting some things on Wham. That's why I've been wondering about the video of me exploring that ancient Venetian tunnel that was also partially ancient Greek or possibly Egyptian in Nafplio, Greece, the port town. Incredibly cool. Be Rational says your website is down now. Yeah, I'm trying to get it back up. I just don't have the money to do it right now. Kind of ran out of money to keep my website up. Sucks. Definitely sucks. Yeah, that's kind of our state of affairs at the moment. Doing what we can to make up for these issues that are piling up by the day. Hestia Waifu says found it and subscribed to it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it's cool. We're like 3 hours into this video and more people are tuning in all the time. I guess I need to do drugs live on YouTube more often. I was talking earlier because I am planning on doing a 12-hour live stream in October, I think. I'm going to get a whole bunch of guests on, big name guests, smaller name guests, talk about the news, etc. And it's just going to be a 12-hour nonstop live stream. It's going to kill me as a pledge drive to try and bring some money in for Wham to continue into 2020. It'll be like a 2020 20K donation drive, and we're going to have a lot of big names on. I've talked with, I think G. Edward Griffin's going to be on it. Dan Dix, Suppressor Truth, said he's willing to do it, and Jeff Burke wants to be on it. I'll get Luke Radowski of We Are Change. That should be a lot of shenanigans because he does nothing but annoy me. So it should be fun for all of us to watch. And, a whole bunch of other people are working on it. I'm thinking I want to get on people like Benny Wills and stuff, who's awesome, from Joy Camp, of course, and a bunch of others. And we'll see what we could do about that. So, but we were talking earlier, like maybe I should at the end of it just to get the last bit of money in, because I don't smoke pot, not these days anyway. See if I just like smoked like 5 grams of weed and took your questions. I think that would be pretty entertaining. It's illegal in Las Vegas, so yeah. Anyway. We'll see what happens. I'm planning for October, so assuming I get back from Turkey just fine, and I think I will. I'm going in a few days. Then, yeah, I got to stop in Canada for my sister's birthday. I was ready to go to Canada for the Winnipeg Crypto Conference, but it looks like it was pushed off until next year. So, but nonetheless, I got to be in Canada for my sister's birthday, and I want to cut off a few bills that I'm paying right now that are also holding me down. So yeah, after that, I think I'm going to go full force into this big donation drive. And Jason, why do I always forget his name? I've done his show before with Luke Radowski on We Are Chains. He used to be their co-host at We Are Change. Jason, can't think of his name for some reason. He worked on the movie Loose Change. Anyway, he does this thing where he does $5,000 a month, and you have to hit that $5,000 limit every month. And I don't know. I think that's it seems to work for him somehow. All I know is we need to raise money, or else we're going under. And I really appreciate the people who've sent super chats today. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing live stream. It's been 3 hours now. I see Damn Big Foot says, did you find Atlantis yet? Well, I'm still looking, and all of us are. If I found Atlantis right now, it would be all over the news, wouldn't it? But I know they're finding all sorts of lost so-called ancient mythical cities by Homer recently, which is big news. And it goes to show, again, Atlantis fits perfectly into the so-called myths of the Bible and the Gilgamesh and Olmecs and Aztecs and Incas and Mayans and Indians and Chinese and etc. All that kind of stuff. I mean, it all plays into the exact same timeline, and to say at this point that it's coincidence is ridiculous. It's not myth at all. Hey Shaded says, use an alternative for Super Chat. YouTube takes too much. Lol. Yeah, I know. Well, so I wanted to do that next time. Once I figure it out with an RSS feed, I'm going to talk with Kingsley of Float, flote.app about it. Still, come on, guys, join Float and come follow me. These are the alternatives. This is the future. I believe Float is probably one of the best things for the future as far as social media goes. But you can live stream on Float, and it's pretty cool. There's no live stream happening right now. Let me see if there is anything live. What's going on live? No one's live right now. Someone just finished their show. Anyway, what you can do with the live stuff on Float is you can actually do super chats on there with crypto. That's interesting. But again, what I was mentioning earlier, and there's lots of options here, is we have GoFundMe, we have Patreon, we have Subscribestar where we do subscriber-only content, which is huge for us and allows us to be able to reach a lot more people. And we have, again, a JFK documentary that got banned from YouTube, up on Subscribestar for people of the $5 or more a month tier. And then we have Float, and then BitChute. Let's see if anyone has subscribed to us on BitChute since I last mentioned it. One more person. Okay, so we're up 7 new subscribers on BitChute since the beginning of the stream. Not great, but I appreciate those 7 people that have subscribed on there. I'm a little bit behind. I got to catch up on BitChute and post the newest stuff. Man, tomorrow I'm going to be paranoid. I'm going to feel like I have a cold. Just from talking so much, my throat's going to be sore. You ever get that? You ever talk too much and then you just feel like you got a cold the next day? Anyway, so again, thank you so much for those super chats. That's been awesome. It makes a world of difference. We can't make anything outside of these live streams anymore. I mean, they're really the only way that we can actually generate any income at all for Wham. And we got quite a few awesome super chats, lots of $1, lots of $2, and then you got these other ones. I'm actually going to go through again and just thank everyone that sent super chats. So thank you, Fly on the Wall, if you're still watching. I doubt it, but it's been a while, but thank you anyway. Frank R for the multiple super chats, Bob Collins 3 for sending super chats, Jimothy Winkleman, Boiled Rope Lampposts, Dr. Nomad X, Paul Wall, who sent the final super chat that I needed to take the niacin earlier, so thank you very much. Sin City Taoist, Truth is Buoyant, you sent many of them, thank you very much. Chad Myers, thank you very much. Darth Shady Lavalin, who tuned out a little while ago, but thank you very much for watching, and thanks for the super chat all the same. DT sent several super chats. Tree Pterodactyl sent super chats. Truth is Buoyant. Did I go through that already? I think I mentioned it. Yeah, you sent many super chats, so thank you again. Night Angel Marine sent multiple. Thank you. Xena Girl 29. Xena Girl 29 has been a huge help to us. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Really awesome. And of course, finally, Incredible Ate Me. Thank you. You guys are the change you wish to see in the world. You are the ones that are keeping us alive. You're the ones that are allowing us to actually reach new people. Thanks. And DT just sent another Canadian $1. Thank you again. Thank you. Awesome. And this is how we defeat the mainstream media. In the end, it's not me. I pass on the information. It's you guys that are watching this information. It's you guys that are watching this program that allows us to defeat the mainstream media and win the information war. We are on the doorstep of winning that information war. However, there's certain obstacles in the way. And those obstacles mean that we'll probably be deleted off of YouTube in the very near future. We will probably lose all of our income. And we are dependent on you going to these other platforms like Float.app and BitChute and Minds and PocketNet and so on and so forth, Subscribestar, etc. We're dependent on you sending emails to worldalternativemedia@gmail.com with subject line yes. Worldalternativemedia@gmail.com. Subject line yes. We'll add you to our newsletter list. We are dependent on you at this moment because we are in a short-term situation here. I think long-term we will defeat the media, but in the short term we are facing basically an exodus. And basically the whole house is burning down, and we are desperately clinging to whatever we can cling to keep us sustained and keep us able to bring you content. Working 18 hours a day to bring you that content. Without you, it's impossible. And so I think it's when you guys send those super chats, when you guys pledge, when you guys donate, you are literally sticking up a big middle finger. I almost did it. I'll get totally demonetized if I do that. To the guys that are deleting our subscribers en masse, deleting our videos en masse, and essentially shadow banning us to the point where we have lost 80% of our viewership. It's scary. It's terrifying. We will survive. We will win. But for the time being, we need you guys more than ever. We need you. We need you. We need you. We need those $1 a month pledges. If we don't have those $1 a month pledges, then we go under. That's it. That's all. End of the story. Off to Fox News and CNN and BBC and CBC and Global News and France 24 and ABC Australia. That's what you're stuck with. So you guys have to make that decision. Are you willing to sit down and do nothing as the Titanic goes down, or are you willing to get those lifeboats out and help us out? It's now or never. And we got to put our foot down, and we have to be somewhat critical, unfortunately, because we have no choice but to get those pledges up. We just need our pledges up to, if we get like 5,000 a month, we can forever be fine, and never, we could shut off our monetization, which would be another big FU to YouTube. and not that we make anything off of monetization, and we can simply do this full time without having to ever ask for anything else. Anyway, Be Rational says Jason Burmis. Yeah, Jason Burmis does a really good job of driving it home to his viewers. He has like a quarter of the subscribers we have, and he does this thing $5,000 a month, and it works. At least I've heard it works. I don't know. I haven't talked with him in a while. Hey Shaded says, I'm about to buy a silver stack, but after that I've got some donations coming. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. You guys are truly awesome. Jethro Harmon just sent $2.99 Australian. Thank you so much, Jethro. Another awesome donation from an awesome person, and I really appreciate that. Torek says, I'm giving you everything I have once I can, my guy. Appreciate that. Don't give everything you can. I mean, you got to sustain your own life. All I ask is, $1 a month, right? I mean, and if 5% of people did that, it would be over $6,000. I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's about $6,500. That would be a huge difference. I mean, and that's only 5% of people giving a single dollar. No one can tell me they can't afford $1. People in Mauritania, Africa were helping me out with more than that when we were in situations where we were in, desperate situations in the middle of the Sahara. It's weird. Yeah, and I find people who have the least tend to give the most of the time. I shouldn't be general with that, but a lot of the time. Someone mentioned something here about how Be Rational says, just donated. Hope you can keep it going. Thank you so much. Awesome. Really appreciate that. Popist says, is there a struggle going on with Josh currently? Sounds slurred. And then Hey Shaded says, well, he has been talking for 3 hours now. Yes, I'm on Niacin, and I've been talking for 3 hours, and there's no one else to talk to. So I just have to, my voice has to just keep going for 3 hours. It's a bit difficult. Hijinks says he took Niacin but didn't think it had that effect. Lol. Yeah, I don't know. I might slur things after 3, and I've been up for a long time. I'm just tired in general. I'm a tired old man who's 25. Let's see. Be Rational says, what do you think about Antarctica? Well, I'll tell you when I go there. I'm going there in February, for those that aren't aware, for free. I'm not paying a cent. I'm actually being sent out there. So that'll be really interesting. I can't wait for that. That's going to be in February after Anarchapulco, assuming the person that's sending me out there is sticking to that plan. DT says, at Jethro Harmon, you legend, man. Keep up the great work. I agree. Absolutely. 100%. Be Rational says, GoFundMe is better than Super Chat. Probably, yeah. Any way it works, though, guys, it helps. Jedi Stock Trader says, interview Martin Armstrong and Mr. Gold, Jim Sinclair. He would help you. So, yeah, we've been reaching out to Martin Armstrong for years, and we have briefly talked with him. But yeah, I would totally love that. Night Angel Marine sent $2 more. Just sent you an email. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Very much appreciate that. So much help from so many great people, and you guys are keeping us going. It inspires me a lot, guys. It keeps me inspired. It keeps me hopeful for the future when I see these kinds of things. It's been a good super chat, or good live stream. Lots of great super chats. Let's see. Hey Shaded says, wow, what an experience that will be. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be like between -20 and -40 Fahrenheit. So that's basically what I had to deal with in the wintertime in Winnipeg, Canada growing up. So it's nothing too over the top crazy, I don't think. I mean, it should be fine. What's crazy is I'm going to Iraq next year too, so. Torek says, holy crap, you really are, and do you ever think of going with some patrons who could maybe split the costs? I don't know, I really want to help. Well, yeah, I'm totally down to split costs with people. If people want to come on some adventures with me, it definitely helps a lot. I got to be careful, obviously, because I have had issues with... There's been a couple stalkers in my past that have been a little bit... concerning to me, but I mean 99.9% of the viewers are not stalkers, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, again, reach out, worldalternativemedia@gmail.com. I'll get to as many of the emails as I can. I'm starting to get way too many emails over there lately because I've given people that email too much. But nonetheless, it'll put you on the newsletter list if you use subject line yes, and if you need to contact me about something like that we could have some kind of mutual benefit as far as that goes, totally. Because I know people enjoy, it's a event of a lifetime going to a place like Iraq. And again, I'm going to Turkey thanks to a donor in a few days who I'm going with out of Texas. Chad Meyer says, thank you for all that you do, and I'll pledge to make a donation every chance I have. Hard times for all that look for the truth too. Yeah, absolutely. It's affecting everyone. It's hitting everyone. I don't expect everyone to give me a fortune or anything like that. All I ask is like $1 a month. I'm not saying you all gotta send me $500, right? I mean, in the end, we all work together, and we really form that big bond when we have a bunch of people sending in $1 a month. That's how we defeat the mainstream media, and it's so simple. It's just so simple. Hey, Shaded says, it scrolled up here. Let me. It says, lol, yep, it's about to be Winter Pig again in a few months. I'm from your city. Yeah, isn't that fun? I'm going to be there in October. It's my sister's birthday. So, by the way, you want to know a great way to get energy and hydrate? And I'm not selling this product. Just saying. Pedialyte. Really good stuff. You could see the levels of electrolytes on the back of the bottle here. Compared to like Gatorade, which has like nothing. Milk has about the same as Gatorade. Magnesium is really important, and potassium and magnesium together make a huge difference. George William writes, are you at all nervous about going over to Turkey? Nervous? Yeah. I'm a little bit nervous. I've heard nothing but good stuff. It's a beautiful country, amazing place, historic and incredible. I'm going to all these ancient sites, and I just really hope that they see my camera and microphone and realize I'm just focused on reporting on their tourist sites like Göbekli Tepe and Derinkuyu. So many people are afraid to go to these places, and they're truly brilliant places. And I mean, every place in the world can be dangerous. It's about how you act in that situation. And I feel like when it comes down to it, you go places and you explore lands and you experience things in your life. It's much better than having the regret of just not doing anything in your life. I mean, it's so important. Oh my God, I got this Jesse B guy troll. Guy thinks I'm send this poor guy money and $1 a month and he'll end mainstream media. I'm talking generally for independent media's buddy, but whatever. Loser, do nothing, that has never done anything with his life and is taking it out and projecting it on others. Let's see. I'll just put him in a timeout for now, as any bad kid should be. Put a little dunce cap on him and put him in a corner. Torque says, it really hurts to see people who work so hard not getting the credit they deserve. Yeah, well, people keep saying, once you die, people will finally respect the work you do. I'm like, once I die, I'll be dead. So, man. George Williams says, I work with people from Turkey, and they're the nicest people. Have a great trip. I hope you can give us details on it. Yeah, I will. And Turkey's a safe country. It's just, I get nervous about going to places I don't know. It's the same thing as people fear what they cannot see. It's the same reason as kids fear a shadow in the closet at nighttime. They fear what they do not know. So as far as that goes, when it comes to Göbekli Tepe, Derinkuyu, and these other places, Karahan Tepe, I think that I'm going to come back with a lot of really interesting information because I'll be the first on the ground in a few places out there. And there's so much to learn about these sites that are essentially arcs to history, recording lost history on these pillars, on these T-shaped pillars, that they are now uncovering at Karahan Tepe, closer to the Iraq border. So I cannot wait to go there. I am so excited to go there. I just hope that going into Turkey, they realize, like, look, I got microphones and equipment, but I'm just going to ancient sites to cover them. I'm nothing nefarious, you know? That's what scares me the most because, you know, I don't know. And this goes for a lot of countries in the world. It's just, it's kind of concerning to go there with a bunch of equipment. That's all. That's all I'll say. I mean, it's just that's my worry right now. Anyway, yeah, we have trolls on this channel. We get them. I mean, I would be doing something wrong if I feel like I don't have enough. That's actually one thing that's concerning me. Hijinks says, I think his goal is actually only 2,000 or 3,000, but I might be mistaken. I think he's talking about Jason. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I just heard from Dan Dix or someone like that he was doing these things, and it's pretty cool because it actually works each time from what I've heard. So I haven't actually looked at it myself, but heard it does. Jethro Harmon says, did you look at that YouTube clip, Josh? Yeah, so I'll get back to you. I got a lot of research on that stuff to do. I really stay away from making assumptions on things that I haven't really thoroughly researched yet and come to conclusions on. I like to analyze everything to a fine detail before I go into it, which is why, like, I studied ancient civilizations for over a decade, and I only just this past year and a half started really going into it. Almost 2 years now, I guess. But yeah, I only started going into it on video in that time because I just don't feel confident in talking about things until I feel like I can have people throw rocks at me and I'll be able to defend myself, right? And defend my viewpoint. Thou who throws the first stone. Anyway. I am so out of it. It's 3 hours and 14 minutes into the stream. 3 hours and 15 minutes, I might add. And I've done Niacin. Gotten awesome super chats from awesome viewers. I've basically done an advertisement for Niacin. Flushing. I turned red. And good times have been had by all. DT sent another Canadian $5. Trolls here. Lol, pointless. Some of us are donating. Yeah, well, I know. It's just... oh, man. I feel like there's a lot of people that are... they find a channel on YouTube. I think there's bots, but I think there's some people that they find a channel on YouTube and insist on just ravaging the channel with comments. I get some 1 second after I press publish. There's not even enough time to press on the video, never mind be notified or refresh the subscription page to click on the video, and then they're on the video immediately, and then they are just throwing stones and pressing dislike. I've seen videos get 10 dislikes within the first 5 seconds of being published, which is impossible, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It tells me that I'm doing something right. I think he's probably out of his timeout by now. I only put him in a timeout for 300 seconds. Be Rational says, just donate again via GoFundMe. Thanks for all your work. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the GoFundMe, I see Casey sent money twice. Thank you, Casey. Awesome. Really appreciate that. That makes a huge difference. And I'm going to refresh this. I'm not going to show on the screen what I see with my Patreon because that's an infringement of people's privacy in the back end. But I see since we started this, we got $21 in pledges on Patreon since this live stream started. So thank you so much. That's awesome. That's monthly $21 that can come in now and help me out a lot. Really does. I'm going to get out of that page so that I don't accidentally show people that next time I go back to that on the screen. I'll bring this up on the screen so everyone's not bored of staring at my face, staring at a screen. Yeah, so anyway, so we got Patreon, we got GoFundMe, we got Subscribestar. Let's see, we have 37 subscribers on Subscribestar. Again, that's where we do our subscriber-only content. And I really appreciate all the help there. Means the world to me to see the support. Let's see, do we have any more followers on Float.app? We got one more. Well, we got one more person to join Float.app. Keep it going, folks. FLOTE.app. I'm at Josh Sigurdson, and I'm also at Wham on Float. And again, these are the social medias we need to move to, and we need to form an exodus from these ridiculous, destructive platforms that are paid off and owned by the state to a great extent. Let's see. We got one more subscriber on BitChute, so we're up 8 subscribers since the beginning of the live stream. So that's definitely something. I appreciate that. Good times on YouTube. As I went into earlier, lost 510 subscribers earlier today, and they say that's because they're abbreviating the subscriber count, but they also aren't explaining where the actual subscribers go, because from the looks of it, those subscribers actually left, and I got a ton of people sending me messages earlier saying that they couldn't see my videos, or not that they couldn't see my videos, that they were randomly unsubscribed. Sorry, I'm totally out of it. I've been doing this live stream for a long time. PewDiePie lost 450,000 subscribers in a minute. That's crazy. It's like 3.5 times, 4 times my subscriber level. I went into it earlier as to what actually caused that. They have an excuse. I just think that they're going to abbreviate so you can't see when they're messing with the subscriber count on YouTube for now on. Anyway, so I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Captain Lou, thanks for the content. Thank you so much. As you could see, I can't talk anymore. Hey Shaded says, lol, my social blade has been negative for 3 years, Josh. Yep. Good times to be on YouTube. Not so much, actually. It's the worst time ever. So please join us on these other platforms, please, for the love of God, and also help us in any way you can with donations, pledges. $1 a month or more is all you need. $5 or more a month, you get subscriber-only content, including our JFK documentary that was recently banned off of YouTube. And we will also post other videos that are not safe for YouTube on Subscribestar. So I really appreciate any help that you can give us in that case. And it's been amazing talking to all of you. This is a test because all I have to do is 4 times this for my 12-hour live stream. I think I could do it. I have a ridiculous amount of energy. Some people mentioned earlier, did I do niacin with Red Bull? No, I'm just got a lot of passion. And also, I'm in a desperate time where I need to do whatever I can to grasp any possible way to sustain myself. And we need to bring in that money. We need to bring in those pledges. We need to bring in those donations, or else we die, and that's the end of it. So I really appreciate all the super chats. Again, you guys are awesome. I'm going to go through it again just to thank everyone, from Fly on the Wall to Frank R to Bob Collins 3 to Jimothy Winkleman to Boiled Lamppost to Dr. Nomad X to Paul Wall to Sin City Taoist to Truth is Buoyant to Chad Myers to Darth Shady Lavalin to DT, to Tree Pterodactyl, to Night Angel Marine, and to Xena Girl 29, and of course to Incredible 8 Me, Jethro Harmon, and well, we got DT sending us another $1 super chat. Again, thank you so much. You guys are truly awesome, and you guys are the reasons that I do what I do. So, really inspiring to see you guys help out in any way that you can, and we'll be doing more of these soon. The live streams are the only way I can connect with the audience and actually reach people, and obviously one of the only ways that I can actually get any form of monetization, because YouTube has basically wrecked me that way. George Williams says, I'm going over to subscribe to your $4.99 platform. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's a $4.99 or $5 a month tier and up. It's all subscriber-only content where I bring you content that you will not see on YouTube and elsewhere. I'm going to be posting a lot more soon. I've got a lot of material. I've just been trying to get things up on YouTube and keep up with the craziness of demonetization and shadow banning. So it's been more difficult lately. But nonetheless, it's coming. I got lots coming at you. And I cannot wait to bring you what I'm going to be bringing you from Turkey. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more on economics and anarchy and freedom and all the craziness of the world. And we will be back with much more. I'm going to sign out and leave you with my funny-looking thumbnail of my face on fire, which you guys got to see on video earlier, live, as I took your questions. And I might do that more. And I got a giveaway coming up soon. Thanks to a crypto event I went to recently. I have a few Ledger Nano S's hard wallets, still in the plastic, everything totally secure, to store Bitcoin on without the possibility of being hacked and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. I'll do that in one of my next live streams and do a giveaway. Thank you so much. And of course, if anyone's interested, and there's links below as well, there's Bitcoin to tip and all that. I hate to ask for money so much. I literally have no option. I have to. It's the only way we can do this. And you guys make it all possible. So thank you so much. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.